After a long summer of reflection and turnover, Danbury Hat-Tricks hockey is officially back from here inside the Danbury Ice Arena. And the Hat-Tricks will start things off against the team that they ended things with in the first round of the FPHL Commissioner's Cup playoffs last year. The Port Huron Prowlers are in town for 2 games to start off the 25-26 campaign. And with that, we say hello and welcome to the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Doug Latuca, delighted to be back with you for year 3 on the microphone. And the Hat-Tricks, as I mentioned, disappointed in the way things ended after last year. Not just with that opening round loss for the 2nd consecutive season, but of course, the story of the summer, the flag plant from Ben Brockwick. Port Huron erases the of conversation all summer long. How will the Hat-Tricks respond? And now it falls on the shoulders of John Birchin, the first-year head coach with the Danbury Hat-Tricks, as he replaces the player-coach duo of Kyle Gonzalez and Johnny Ruiz. For Gonzo, he is enjoying retirement and recently had his first child. And for Johnny, he's back for year number 6 as the captain of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. He will center the top line for Danbury with 2 new line mates, Gennaro Franduto and Joshua Tomasi. So a lot of shuffling for Danbury. Yes, they bring back 10 players from last year, but a lot of new faces, and even the ones who you were familiar with last year, they have changed numbers, quite a few of them. Hat-Tricks without Noah Robinson and Vadim Frolov to start the season. They are on loan up in the ECHL. We wish them the best. So the Hat-Tricks will roll with what they've got. The Prowlers introduced to the ice in their brand new white visiting sweaters. There are the white tops with the red bottoms and the white socks with some yellow and red striping. They've also had some turnover going into their 11th season. They do return 13 players from last year's playoff roster. So there are players on both sides who remember how last year ended. And I'm sure right off the jump, we might have some action. It was discussed in our coaches show earlier on this week, which you'll listen to at the first intermission with the head coach, John Birchin. We sat down and discussed what it could look like, and he said straight up, we'll have to see what Matt Graham does, and that could determine how things shake out. We got a lot of kids on the ice for opening night. Hat-Tricks trying to get off to a good start. Danbury was very strong at home, and of course during their Commissioner's Cup championship run, they were one of the best teams all time on home ice. And typically when you lead the league from really start to finish, it starts with solid play on home ice. Just ask the Binghamton Black Bears, who barely lost a handful of games last year en route to their 2nd consecutive Commissioner's Cup championship. It was Port Huron that ran into those red-hot Black Bears in the 2nd round of the Commissioner's Cup playoffs. Prowlers got swept, did put up a valiant effort, but were defeated And then Binghamton won its second consecutive championship. Lights have gone out here in Danbury. That means the Hat-Tricks are almost ready to take the ice. Game 1 of 56 on a long season that starts in October, typically ends middle of April, and then playoffs running into late April and early May. Who will be crowned a champion in the 16th year of the Federal Prospects Hockey League. Hat-Tricks have made the playoffs in every single season that they've participated in the league. But as I mentioned, back-to-back first-round departures to the hands of both Michigan teams in the FPHL. Now, some bookkeeping for those who are interested. This season, the Motor City Rockers, who the Hat-Tricks fell to 2 years ago, no longer in the league, at least for the 25-26 campaign. They'll be back next year. So the Empire Division features Binghamton, Danbury, of course, Port Huron, with Blue Ridge, Indiana Sentinels, brand new team this year. Same with the Topeka Scarecrows, and then, of course, the Watertown Wolves, who the Hat-Tricks faced nearly 20 times this season. A lot of that action will be played right here in Danbury. The lights are out. The anticipation is pouring through. Fans waiting for the Hat-Tricks to hit the ice. The Prowlers standing around waiting, wondering. And looks like we are good to go now, as the refs indicate. Hat-Tricks will have a lot of offense to replace. Of course, the three Russians no longer on the team. Gleb Van Durken dealt to the Athens Rock Lobsters about a week ago. Alexander Vasiliev overseas. And as I mentioned, Vadim Frolov, he's with the Tulsa Oilers of the East Coast Hockey League. And here come the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Danbury in their black jerseys with the orange shoulder pads. And those will be available through auction. Hat-Tricks will wear them tonight and tomorrow. And they could go to a lucky fan. All you have to do, folks, is head over to our social media channels. You'll find the link there. Or you can go to Dash Auctions, look up the Danbury Hat-Tricks, and you'll see our live auction going on until tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. This is just game 1 of 2 to start off the season. Hat-Tricks announcing the full roster here before we press play on the season. Plenty of familiar faces, but of course, as I mentioned, some turnover. So tonight and tomorrow specifically, we will hone in on some numbers and some names just to get you acclimated in the early portion of the season. Hat-Tricks open the year with 3 of their first 4 games on home ice. Danbury with 2 against Port Huron, and then on Friday, they will be at Binghamton before returning home to face the Black Bears here in the Danbury Ice Arena. Well, the 2 players you might want to shine your spotlight on tonight. Number 67 in black for the Hat-Tricks, Jesse Swanson, was signed early in the summer. First acquisition made by the new general manager of the Danbury Hat-Tricks, A.J. Galante, 22 years old, played with HC Venom last year, 6 games, 57 penalty minutes. Almost 20 fights in 12 career games for Jesse Swanson. He might be the player tapped to go up against Eichel Schlepp, who was acquired today by the Port Huron Prowlers in a trade. He is 6'8", 210 pounds. That could be round one of what could be fight night here at the Danbury Ice Arena. So the Hat-Trick's full roster has been announced.
During the offseason, we lost a fellow family member of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. Ed Lockwood was very involved with the Hat-Tricks, off and on the ice. He was an off-ice official. Ed was a pleasure to be around, and I always thoroughly enjoyed his company. He was a great hockey fan and an even better person. He will be missed. Deepest condolences to the Lockwood family and all his friends. May he rest in peace. That was from Matt Granty, former Hat-Trick. Now, please stay standing as we acknowledge our national anthem, singing tonight's national anthem, Broadview Middle School.
Broadview Middle School with our opening night national anthem. It's game one of 56 Hat-Tricks and Prowlers in a playoff rematch. Hello again, Hat-Tricks fans. Thanks so much for stopping by. We are pumped up for the start of the 2025-26 season. The Prowlers, of course, ending the Hat-Tricks campaign last year. And now Danbury trying to get a little revenge. This rivalry starting to build a little bit. Empire Division foes. And really, the big question of the night, how long will we have to wait for the main event? Of course, many will remember the Ben. There's Jesse Swanson, who we highlighted in the pregame, 6'8", 235 from Big River, Saskatchewan. He's only 22 years old, almost 20 fights in 12 pro games. Played with the Elmira River Sharks 2 years ago, HC Venom last year, and then you saw Swanson and Schlepp, who the Prowlers acquired today just for this game. 6'8", 210 pounds. Was playing in the RHL last year. Two guys from Canada. We have a couple of ceremonial puck drops. Another reminder, folks, the jerseys the Hat-Tricks are wearing tonight and tomorrow, the black with the orange shoulder pads, are available for auction through Dash. It's very simple. You can either access the bidding through our social media at Danbury Hat-Tricks. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Or you could just go to Dash Auctions. Just search it up on Google. You'll find the link. in their search bar, look up Danbury Hat Tricks, and that is our live auction of the night. It ends tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. First jersey auction of the season. Well, the two captains, Johnny Ruiz and Austin Federley, embrace with a handshake. Roll up the carpets and maybe roll up those sleeves, because this could be a feisty start to the new campaign. Hat tricks ticked off following the Brockway actions last year in the playoffs. They've discussed it all summer long. Fans are still on their feet. They haven't sat down through the pregame ceremonies. Hat tricks are starting their top trio of Johnny Ruiz, Gennaro Fronduto, and Joshua Tomasi, with Josh LaBelle and Dimitri Christou on defense. Hat tricks in the black going from left to right. It's Jamie Bussell against Johnny Ruiz. Puck is down, and here we go. Ding, ding, ding. Jesse Swanson, Ekiel Schlepp, right at center ice on the Hat Tricks logo. What everybody's been waiting for. Fans are on their feet. Swanson with his left hand grabs Schlepp. A couple of rights. Schlepp's helmet falls off. There's a right from Swanson. They're exchanging blows, waiting each other out. A right from Schlepp. Both helmets off. Swanson a big right. Referee's letting him go. A jab from Schlepp. Now a right from Swanson. They're tangled up right at center ice, twirling around. A left from Swanson. Schlepp trying to get free. Right from Schlepp. They exchange blows right to the face. Swanson takes it, fires one back, and that is it. How about that start? 2 seconds in. Was it worth the wait? Jesse Swanson, welcome to Danbury. Schlepp steps in after being acquired just a couple of hours ago by the Prowlers for that exact moment. And who knows, that could just be the start of what is an action-packed, exciting night of hockey. But the anticipation was off the charts for that bout. Not many haymakers, but a couple of good rights from each side. And the face-off right back at center. Just 2 seconds in, and now maybe we'll play hockey for the duration. It's Josh LaBelle gloving it down at center. Up the right wing, Josh Tomasi, who was signed, former Watertown Wolf, rims it around. Tomasi shoving back behind the net. Puck trickles to the near side half wall. Tomasi right corner, pressed on by Brian Parsons. Spinning off a check, Brett Morich, out of the University of Dubuque. Here comes Jamie Bussell, right wing, sliding it in front off the skate. And the Hat Tricks out the other way. Josh LaBelle sprinting through center, gets the blue wrist shot into the midsection of Reed Cooper, who makes the start for the Port Huron Prowlers. Hat Tricks familiar with him during Port Huron's playoff run. He played the majority of the games against the Hat Tricks last year. Of course, switching off with Valtteri Nusiainen, who is no longer with the club. As for the Hat Tricks, it is Frankie McClendon. Last year, 10-2 with a .346 goals against, a .905 save percentage. He gets start number 1 of the year. Hat Tricks having to fill the void left by Connor McCullum. Hat Tricks co-MVP last year. Won 24 games as a rookie 2 seasons ago. No longer with the club. Reggie Millette chopping at it. Far wall for the Prowlers. Onto the blade of Lucas Lockney, who rims it around. Racing after it, Trey Delory, 22 in black, 6'5 defenseman. The post-university product. Juggling puck at center ice. Pride-free Austin Belfay, former Blue Ridge Bobcat, acquired in a trade. Swung to the far side, Dennis Zajac, who was on the Venom last season, centering Belfay and Alexander Legkov, who was the EHL Forward of the Year last year, was outstanding for the New Jersey 87s, 97 points. And he was the Frozen Finals MVP. Bussell stomps through center, flips it near side wall. Played back for Bussell, skates into it left corner. Low to high feed. Parsons a drive wide left. Ricochets off the boards. Free puck in front, bouncing. And it's swatted to the far side corner. Justin Movalli, the veteran defenseman, played it to Josh LaBelle, who flips it up and out of play. Exactly 2 minutes in to the season opener. Hat-tricks and Prowlers, if you're just joining us. Swanson against Schlepp. 2 seconds in, right off the opening faceoff. That the retaliation following the Ben Brockway flag plant. And now full hockey the rest of the way. Prowlers win the faceoff. It's at the right point. Sauced around near side. Juggling puck near side blue line, and the puck kept in. Movalli races after it for the hat-tricks behind the net. He'll angle off the far wall, takes a hit, gets it back, and pries it up the far boards. Too far for Johnny Ruiz. Icing waved off, skating over Ben Brockway for the Prowlers. Available puck, far wall, jarred free by Frandudo, who puts a big shoulder into Nick Favaro. A tie-up in the far corner, and it's pitchforked out to center ice. Brendan Spinell banks it off the far side wall. Loose puck behind the net, taken away from Brockway. Pass up top, dangling through, it's Legkov, lost the handle. Far side boards, to the right point, Connor Craig had his shot blocked by a sliding Lucas Lockney. Connor Craig acquired for Xavier Abdella in the summer. Hat-tricks keep the puck in. It's Legkov dancing near the blue line. Pries the puck free from Millette. It's still up for grabs, and Millette zips through center. Over the logo. Gains the blue. Drops off Lockney. Slings it across. Chopped down low by Matt Graham. Through Reginald Lynette. Millette. And a keep at the left point by Alex Johnson. Ends up out of the zone. 3.5 minutes gone by. First period, no score. Hat-tricks with the only shot. Bursting in and ripping one wide was Arttu Haikala. Josh LaBelle camped out behind the Hat-tricks goal. 4 minutes erased to the opening period. The Hat-tricks team defensive player of the year last year. Skating into it is Trey Delory, shoots. Pops up in the air, back behind the goal, centering try, and a pad stop from Cooper. Puck is free on the near side boards. A big hit laid on. Mentioned Delory, 6'5", 180, out of Andover, Massachusetts. Prowlers clear, LaBelle flicks it back in, rimming it around the glass. Both teams making changes. Brian Parsons backtracks in his own zone, uses the cage as the shield, banks it off the far boards. It springs down into the Hat-tricks end. Dimitri Christou, who joined the Hat-tricks late last year out of Franklin Pierce University, wears number 71 this year. He was 96 last season. Soccer ahead by Johnny Ruiz. Christou helps him out and flings it back behind Cooper. 5 minutes elapsed. Opening period of game one. Johnny Ruiz right corner shoots, chested down, rebound. Stopped as well, the whistle blew, the net came off. 4 minutes, 58 seconds into the first period. Hat-tricks have had most of the possession, have dictated the pace. Something John Bierchin mentioned earlier this week, but he wanted to avoid the cliches that you typically hear from a new coach. He knows what his team needs to do. They've had a couple of productive practices, a lot of learning, they said. Hat-tricks win the face-off. LaBelle lets one go, and it's waffle boarded into the netting. After the whistle, Gennaro Franduto engaged with a Prowler, some pushing and shoving. The Stripes step in as we have hit our first media timeout of the day. 5:04 gone by first period, no score.
Charter Oak Brewing Company is a Connecticut-based craft beers brewery featuring handcrafted and innovative beers such as pale ales, lagers, India pale ales, brown ales, sours, and several seasoned, more robust beers. Pick one up at the Rabbit Hole here at the Danbury Ice Arena. Live pain-free with Danbury Chiropractic and Wellness. From adjustments to holistic treatments, we're here to help you feel your best. Book your appointment today. Wellness is just a call away. Raise a glass to locally crafted spirits at Litchfield Distillery. Handcrafted small batch whiskey, gin, and more. Visit our distillery today and taste the difference. Litchfield Distillery, batch by batch. Keep your business safe with R&R Protective Services. Expert security solutions tailored to your needs. Call us today for reliable protection you can trust. R&R Protective Services, your safety, our priority. Nothing beats an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Refresh your day with the classic taste everyone loves. Coca-Cola Northeast, bringing smiles and refreshment to your community. Products available at the Danbury Ice Arena.
Back in Danbury, Doug Latuca with you. 5:03 gone by, period one of the season opener. Hat-tricks and Prowlers in a playoff rematch from last year. Port Huron ending Danbury's season on this ice. Hat-trick's top line out there for Franduto, Tomasi, and Ruiz. It's Reginald Millette prying it free for the Prowlers, and a new number, 79 this year. He was 39 last year. He darts up the near side wall over the red, flips it in past Ruiz, chases after, taps towards the goal, and a right pad stop from McClendon, and a penalty. Our first power play of the night. It goes to the Port Huron Prowlers, 5 minutes and 31 seconds into the first period. That was the Prowlers' first shot on goal. And now, Gennaro Franduto will sit 2 minutes for slashing. We did have the fight 2 seconds in between Swanson and AJ Schlepp. Face off at the far side circle. Hat-tricks with Ruiz, Tomasi, Christou, and LaBelle out there. They win the face-off, and LaBelle clanks it off the near glass and back into the Port Huron zone. Austin Federley, the captain for Port Huron, zigzagging through his zone, drops it off for Millette. He'll gain the blue, flips it to the far side. Graham, pass down low, save McClendon. On the doorstep, it was Lucas Lockney, and McClendon with his first tough test of the day. He passes with flying colors as LaBelle bats the puck out to center. Quick up off the stick of Graham. Mo Valley races back for the hat-tricks. It trickles on goal and a save from McClendon. And after the whistle, some more shoving. McClendon evacuates the crease. Mo Valley with a shove on Johnson. Those two players were involved in the series last year. 1:21 left on the Franduto penalty. In the playoffs last year, the Prowlers 3 for 10 on the man advantage in that Empire Division semifinals matchup. Hat-tricks were 5 for 15 during the playoffs last year, so penalty kill could be a point of emphasis in game one. Of course, a lot of turnover on both these sides. Mentioned 10 returners for the Hat-tricks, 2 of which goalies, and then 13 returners for the Prowlers, who win the face-off at the far circle. Jamie Bussell tried to wipe it backwards. It evades Nick Favero, and he'll wander back in his own zone with Troy Harwell pressuring, younger brother of Chase Harwell. Zipping in near side, it's Dylan Marty. His shot whistles wide, keeping it alive. Brett Lockhart, right point to the near side. Favaro, he walks left circle, shoots, blocker save by McClendon. Favaro, low to high, Lockhart across one-timer, blocked by a sliding Mo Valley. Reared back by Marty. He's got it back. Near side, Favaro touches it for Lockhart for a one-timer from Marty and another block from Mo Valley. Straight away, Lockhart switches spots. Marty, high slot, wrist shot, blocked, engulfed by Dellery. There, Marty off the mask, rebound, glove down by McClendon. Bussell with 15 on the power play. Lockhart right circle drags. His shot blocked. Mo Valley will clap it off the kick plate far wall. As far as center, final 5 of the power play. Galloping in, it's Millette. Gains the blue, stops at the right point. Feathers across, out of the zone, knocked away by Tomasi. Out of the box is Fronduto. Hat-tricks kill it off. About 12.5 minutes remaining here in the first period. Shots even at 5 apiece. Season opener, Hat-tricks and Prowlers from the Danbury Ice Arena. Tomasi from the right wall rims it around, met by Ruiz in the far corner. He's crashed into. Rolling puck dangerously across the slot. Johnson sweeps it up the near side boards. Tapped along Fronduto. Engaged with Lockney. Tie up in front of the Prowlers bench. Back for Johnson. And all the way across for Parsons, who rims it around the kick plate to the near side. Skating right into it, it's Morich. Trying to go around the net, runs in to Josh LaBelle and lost the puck. Fronduto, outlet pass. Grazes off the stick of Alex Legkov, the young Russian. Loose puck at the center ice logo. Batted away at Austin Belfay, chasing after it for Danbury. Errant pass up the far wall, back into the Hat-tricks end, and another icing. Here with 11:25 on the clock. Still scoreless. And a great opportunity for the Prowlers. First shot from Marty, fought off by McClendon from the left circle, and the rebound flicked on the backhand. And the veteran netminder got a glove on it. Last year, second season where McClendon in his career put up 10 wins or more. Both those seasons coming here in Danbury. Hat-tricks win the left circle draw. Left point, LaBelle shoots, tipped wide. Zajac was in the area, and the left post dislodged, so another whistle. And we will reset things at the left top. Hat-tricks have Alex Legkov, Dennis Zajac, and Austin Belfay out there. Belfay 88, Zajac 11, and Legkov 91. On defense, Connor Craig with Trey Delory. Craig 21, Delory 22. Face off at the same left circle, Hat-tricks win it. Near side, Connor Craig, the shifty D-man. Shot pass tipped on by Zajac and fought off by Cooper. Puck out to center, Prowlers from right to left. A wrist shot, flutters wide right. Gathered in by LaBelle over him. Belfay flips it ahead for Legkov. Turns on the Jets, right wing. Evades the Lockhart check. Pass in front, and a fan from Belfay had pressure on his back. And puck squirts out to center, and Justin Mo Valley will hammer it back in. Skate to stick, Alex Johnson behind the cage. Snow showers, sauces up the near wall. Prowlers were making a change, no one there. Instead, Dimitri Christou to Troy Harwell, who plays forward this season. A giveaway. Here's a breakaway and a glove save by McClendon. Rebound kept out as well. 2 8+ stops from Frankie McClendon off the giveaway. And the Hat-tricks backup netminder last year, standing tall in his first start of the 25-26 season. A glorious opportunity right in front of the goal for Brett Morich. Off the turnover. So now we've got Jesse Swanson and Ben Brockway lined up. It'll be a face-off in the Hat-tricks end far circle. Onto the ice is Schlepp, and now are they going to allow him to come on the ice? They will not. Oh boy, so the Hat-tricks make the final line change on home ice. Prowlers tried to sneak AJ Schlepp on, they cannot. And now you might have Swanson against Brockway for some real payback. 2 seconds in, it was Schlepp against Swanson. And this could be ugly for Brockway, and here they go right off the jump. A couple rights, Brockway down, getting hammered from over the top. It was one punch, maybe two. The fans love it. Swanson, number 67, with a 6-7 celebration. Some of you might not know what that's about. Some of you might. A lot of jawing between the two benches. You've got associate head coach Chris Paulin in his third season with the Prowlers, screaming at the Hat-Tricks bench. MJ Markle, the new assistant coach for the Hat-Tricks, dealing with that communication, talking to John Birchin. And they might have a conversation. You got Birchin and Paulin now discussing. Ben Brockway was fuming, almost broke the glass plane between the two benches. Paulin and Birchin didn't really have a conversation. It was mostly one way. Paulin screaming at Birchin. Swanson cut Brockway up high with that first punch. And hey, Hat-Tricks on home ice. They get the last change. They caught the Prowlers. Schlepp was not there to protect Brockway, and it was a one punch and down. And Ben Brockway getting a little bit of payback from what happened in the playoffs. As we mentioned, it was the biggest storyline of the summer. Definitely when it happened, it was one of, if not the biggest storyline in all of minor professional hockey. Brockway, who's listed as 6'4", about 210 pounds, stood no chance against the 6'8", 235 Jesse Swanson. And now this could lead to an entertaining, yes, but choppy, physical, potentially dirty hockey game the rest of the way. And for those of you who are wondering what's going on here, as you see Swanson pummeling Brockway, this was last year. Was one of the first things that head coach John Birchin was told about. And now potentially the end of the situation, who knows? We can only wait and see how the rest of this goes. Penalties, I'm sure, will result from the Swanson and Brockway mix up. Well, you had the entertaining fight between Swanson and Schlepp off the jump. And then it was Brockway who was caught out there with nobody to protect him. Swanson lined up with him. As of now, it looks like Swanson is in the box. 5 minutes for fighting for sure. He might be done for the day. Now, we haven't gotten any official word into here. We'll let you know, but Swanson is heading for the locker room. Serving the penalty for the Hat-Tricks is Alex Legkov. And Port Huron will head to the man advantage for the second time here tonight. So the face-off, far circle, Hat-Trick zone. Port Huron on the power play. Federley walks the blue line, stops center point. Millette back to Federley. Near side, Lucas Lockney. Thought about a shot, turns back, left point. Now walks towards the goal, gives off right point for Millette. He'll hammer it around. Met near half wall, Lockney. He flips it up top for Federley. Settles. Right side, Millette. Drag. Shoots! Deflected off the back of the net. Johnson up top. Millette walks. Shoots! Right pad saved by McClendon. Big stop from Frankie McClendon on the kill. 40 seconds gone by on the kill. Johnson, far corner. Low to high, Millette. Stops at right point. Crisscrosses with Federley, gives him the puck. Down the right wall. Federley at the circle. Shoots! Blocked. Pinballs towards the blue line, kept in by Lockney. Ruiz trying to steal the puck away. The captain led the hat-tricks with 6 shorties last year. Here's Lockney bursting it offside. There was a mix-up right at the blue line. Now Johnson and Newberg chatting. Media timeout. Just to fill you in a little bit on the penalties that are coming in, it is a media timeout. Players will go back to their benches. So, of course, if you're just joining us, it was Swanson and Schlepp 2 seconds in, fighting. Thought maybe that would be the end, but Swanson and the hat-tricks caught Ben Brockway and the Prowlers in a line change. Hat-tricks, of course, get the last change. And it was not much of a fight put up by Brockway. One punch went down. Swanson, the much bigger individual, knocked him down. So he gets 2 minutes for roughing and 5 minutes for fighting. It's served by Alexander Legkov, who is not in the system for the game here tonight. But Legkov is playing number 91. So if you're tracking the game through our live stats, you might be wondering why it says Jesse Swanson twice. It's Legkov. He's just not in the system. Some opening night blunders. Ben Brockway also got 5 minutes for fighting. Looks like it might have figured itself out here, as Swanson got an instigator and inciting opponent, which is a misconduct in fighting. Brockway 5 minutes for fighting. As a result, the Prowlers on the power play for the next 45 seconds. From right to left, it's Dylan Marty trying to sidestep a check, lost the puck, but it's gathered in by Artu Haikala. Far side boards, Dylan Marty flings it near side. Nick Favaro, left corner, Jamie Bussell now at the circle. To the right side, Brett Lockhart. Near circle, Favaro shoots, blocked. Going down was Troy Harwell, and Josh Newberg to the rescue, scoops it out on the backhand, on goal. Cooper will whisk it up for Brett Lockhart. Over the red, fanned on a pass, and Port Huron has to reorganize. It is Lockhart, zigzagging through center. Around Zajac, free puck, taken in by LaBelle. Right out of the box, it's Legkov. Hat-tricks kill off the penalty. Prowlers offside as Graham carried it in. Did not see his teammate Brett Lockhart behind the play. So Port Huron has had both power play opportunities in this game, and they have yet to score. It's 0-0, Hat-tricks and Prowlers. Game 1 of 56 of the season, and game 1 of 7 between these two teams. Hat-tricks will play 5 here in Danbury, 2 in Port Huron. They'll bring the face-off back into Port Huron's end. Head coach John Birchin. Oh, it looks like a power play. I apologize. A power play for the Hat-tricks. So right as we're talking about Port Huron's unsuccessful tries, Danbury now goes to the man advantage for its first crack. Mentioned they're 5 for 15 against the Prowlers in the playoffs last year, including 2 goals in game 3, both from the captain Johnny Ruiz, made it 2-0 in that game. So Reggie Millette is going over to the penalty box as well. So there are 2 Prowlers in the box. Nothing has come across our screen quite yet. They're still discussing. Well, either way, it's been an entertaining first 11 and a half minutes or so. The fight 2 seconds in between Swanson and Schlepp. Another fight, Swanson and Brockway. And maybe, just maybe, everything that happened at the end of Game 3 of the playoffs last year could be put in the rearview mirror. Hat-Tricks would like that very much as they're to their first power play of the day. Brockway is in the box. LaBelle quarterback, centering pass, Ruiz fan of the slot. Brett Morich hurls it down the ice. What an opportunity for Johnny Ruiz, left open in the high slot. And he fanned on the one-timer. Usually camps out on a strong side at the circle. Now he's on the right wing. Bursting in, drops off Tomasi. LaBelle to the near side, Zajac. Ring of the right circle, straight away LaBelle, back for Zajac, shoot, saved by Cooper. And a clear from Port Huron. Shot 7-8 hat-tricks. Getting their 7th shot on the power play. Prowlers have one more than Danbury in the game. 7.5 minutes to go, first period. Still 1 minute on the power play. It was a misconduct on Brockway. And the hat-tricks offside, left portion of the blue. So it was a delay of game bench minor on Port Huron, which is being served by Reggie Millette. And then I believe there was a separate misconduct by Brockway, which has him in the box. That is the 2 minutes on the board. So 1 minute to go on the hat-tricks power play as we leak under 7.5 remaining in the opening 20. Josh LaBelle quarterbacks, sauces for Tomasi, right side of the blue line. He'll wander down the boards, and the Prowlers clear almost immediately. McClendon up for LaBelle. Brett Morich and Vincent DeCumbus, the forward killers for the Prowlers. Puck in the high slot, Zach Pamelayan, near side, Zajac. Straight away LaBelle, slap shot, tipped wide. Zajac filters it below the goal line. Puck off the near glass, drops down for Zajac. To the blue line, LaBelle, back for Zajac. Quickly across Tomasi for LaBelle. Slap shot, never got through. Free in the far corner, play up top, kept in by LaBelle. To the near side, Zajac looking for a tip. His shot blocked and cleared by the Prowlers. We're back to even. 6.5 to go in the first period. Still scoreless, searching for the first goal of the 25-26 season. Team to a combined 0 for 3 on the power play. Puck was shot in just before the red line, turns into an icing on the hat-tricks. It was Ethan Esposito, joins the hat-tricks for his first season, played with the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Just 5 games last year, had an assist. Out of Sault College, playing in the ACHA, had 49 points in 31 games in his senior campaign before cracking the pros last year. Face off, right circle hat-trick zone. Millette sprints after it, gets there first. Up the far wall, puts one towards goal off his skate. Matt Graham collects behind the net. Shoved off the puck by Connor Craig for the hat-tricks. Millette whips one wide. And it deflected up and out. Becomes a souvenir. Hat-tricks controlled the opening 5 minutes. It's really settled down. Both teams have had some good opportunities, most of which have come on the team's respective power plays. Morich against Ruiz for the face-off. A tie-up and a shot off the draw. Right pad stop from McClendon. Tomasi will sail it through center. Knocked down Fronduto. Couldn't get through the 3 Prowlers in front of him. A gliding puck at center ice up for grabs. Kicked along by Connor Beisel. And a race for it. Tomasi, right wing, shoots wide left. Rolling puck, could not settle. It was a one-touch rip, missed the net. Renduto will reverse course to Justin Movelli, who parks behind Frankie McClendon. Hat-trick cycling, Movelli to the near side. It's Dellery. Will slingshot it in. Gets clogged up on the far wall. Prowlers from right to left. Austin Belfay, the forward. Back to retrieve for Danbury. Gets wiped out by Federley of the Prowlers. Chopped out to center by Zajac. Port Huron angles it back in. We're under 5 minutes to go here in period one. Danbury Ice Arena, the site for the season opener. Opening weekend in Danbury. Game 2 tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, puck drop. In the right circle, it's Alex Legkov. Puck pried free by Jamie Bussell of the Prowlers. Lucas Lockney, cross ice, skate to stick, Reggie Millette. In the right corner, Snow Showers shoved by LaBelle. He drew a penalty. To the bench goes Cooper, extra skater. Comes on, a tie-up far boards. Lockney taken down, puts it towards the goal. Millette in the slot, the backhander save. He's got it back in the left corner. To the back, Federley lost the handle, finds Millette, shoots at a skipper. Fought off by McClendon. Hat-tricks do indeed touch up. The whistle and a slash, the call on the Hat-tricks alternate captain Josh LaBelle. So Port Huron granted its third power play of the game here in the first period of the season opener. So here in Danbury, the Chick-fil-A cow races going on. Of course, Chick-fil-A, delicious original chicken sandwich. Maybe you like it spicy, maybe you want some pickles. They obviously have your tenders, your nuggets. They got the mac and cheese, all the types of dipping sauces, anything you want. We got the cow races going on our big board here in the arena. Trying to decide the winner, who will win, 1, 2, or 3. And we got a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. There you go. They'll win some free Chick-fil-A for guessing the correct cow in our Chick-fil-A cow races. Go check them out in Brookfield and also in the Danbury Fair Mall. So LaBelle sits in the sin bin for 2 minutes, and Port Huron will try to break the stalemate. It's their third power play opportunity of the evening. And a false start on the face-off. So out goes Matt Graham. In comes Reggie Millette. All veteran players for Port Huron on the power play. Lockney, Johnson, Graham, and Federley. Tomasi, Ruiz, Movelli, and Dellery, the 4 killers for the hat-tricks. Millette right circle, wrist shot, glove save, McClendon. And Dellery shoves Johnson out of the way as McClendon will once again evacuate the blue paint. Of course, this game could have gone a couple of different ways. We expected the fights, and we were gifted a couple of them, 2 involving Jesse Swanson, but not really too chippy between the two teams. Of course, the rivalry really got ignited last year. There was a lot of bad blood between the two teams, a couple incidents that happened in Port Huron earlier on in the year. And then, of course, the flag playing in the playoffs. 1:35 left on the power play. Hard pass skips through Millette. He turns and shoots, blocked by Ruiz, who slaps it the length of the ice. 30 seconds erased from the LaBelle slash as we tick under 3.5 minutes remaining in the first period. Prowlers last year on the power play, 8th in the league, but they scored 50 power play goals, which was 5th most. Lockney through the high slot for Millette. Up top, Federley fakes the slapper, walks the line, left circle, Millette. It's Lockney rather, his shot engulfed by Josh Newberg and sailed down the ice. Hat-tricks on the kill last season, ranked 11th, 78.6%. What a whole cast of new characters for Danbury to start this year. One of them, Connor Craig, clears the zone. Turning on the Jets, it's Nick Favaro. Down the far wall, circles around the net. Favaro seeking. Up top, Lockhart. To the far side, Bussell. Left circle to Cumbus. Return Bussell. Straight away, Lockhart. He'll survey. Gives off Favaro. Left circle. Hard pass, Bussell. Right side. Down low. It's through Dylan Marty, who got tangled up. Prowlers still possessed with 10 on the power play. Bussell for Marty. He shoots. Blocked. Getting in the way, Craig. Lockhart. Power play is over. Favaro. Down the near wall. Circles the net. Now in the right corner. Hits the brakes. Favaro centers. Bouncing puck. It's free. Swatted at. And out of the zone it goes. 1:45 left in the opening period. Errant pass results in an icing on Port Huron. Shots 13-8 Prowlers. They are now 0 for 3 with the man up. Hat-tricks 0 for 1. Prowlers had both of their leading power play goal scorers from last year, Alex Johnson and Lucas Lockney, on the ice. Each had 8 last season, but nothing has come of 3 opportunities. Hat-tricks win a face-off in the O-zone. Shot from LaBelle blocked down. Prowlers might have numbers from right to left. Instead, Millette will snap it in near side. Zajac for Delory. Cross for LaBelle, and it's hammered up the far wall. Vacuumed in by Alex Johnson, who flips it ahead for Lockney. Pass across the ice for Graham, right wing. He'll bank it off the back wall. Kept in by Johnson, left point. Lockney. Shoved down Delory behind the net. And the outlet pass, Zajac. Who will shoot in. Leitkov lets it go for Belfay. Gets clogged up in that far corner. A whistle and a cross-checking penalty on Lucas Lockney. So a big story, of course, of the game was how would things from last season be resolved? And so far we have our answer to Jesse Swanson fights, but this is going to be our 5th power play of the first period. 3 for the Prowlers. Now this is Danbury's second chance. A hat-trick squad that was almost 25% last year, 3rd in the league, 3rd most power play goals in the league with 53. Prowlers on the kill last season ranked 8th, 80%. They gave up the 4th most power play tallies, 51. Hat-tricks possessing the O-zone. At the line, it's LaBelle to the near side. Zajac fumble the handle, gets it back near half wall, trickles through him, return from LaBelle and back to the big D-man. He slaps one, it's blocked, and off to the races is Bussell pushing ahead. Zajac slashed him. Bussell was darting through center ice between Zajac and LaBelle. And Zajac one-handed him on the hands. So a very short-lived power play for the Hat-tricks lasts just 39 seconds. They are now 0 for 2 with the man up. Face off to the left of Frankie McClendon. Hat-tricks defend the left net in periods 1 and 3 tonight. Port Huron wins the draw. Favaro streaks down the right wall. Stops, starts, passes into the middle with 3 seconds. Favaro, fans on the shot, it's free, and that's it for the first period. Entertaining, action-packed, kind of what you anticipated after a summer-long break. Saw some fights, saw some quality opportunities on offense, and Frankie McClendon 13 for 13 in period 1, and held up during the power play barrages that the Prowlers put on. Good puck movement from those veterans. As we mentioned, all 5 returners on the top power play unit for Port Huron. Hat-tricks really haven't been able to see their top unit. Just once did the Hat-tricks have a full opportunity. And then just a couple moments ago, 39 seconds in, Zajac took a slash. Now we got an interview. It's Lexi Berkey-Yao with Josh LaBelle.
Expected the physicality of this period of this game. How impressed are you with Swanson and the whole team on how they've handled it so far?
He knows his role. He knows when we picked him up, what he had to do, and I think he's planted the flag back in center ice for him so far.
What do you think is going well for this team so far tonight?
Just working hard, getting pucks deep, finishing bodies, trying to stay out of the nonsense unless they're starting it because we're looking to back down. So.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Josh LaBelle fresh off the ice, talking with our ringside reporter Lexi Berkey-Yao after one period of play. The game is scoreless. We had almost everything in that first period but goals. Prowlers credited with 13 shots, Hat-tricks with 8. We'll play 4-on-4 for 1 minute 8 seconds. Lockney in the penalty box for the Prowlers, cross-checking at 19:08. And then it was Dennis Zajac with the slash at 19:48, practically at the end of the first period. T-shirt toss time here in Danbury. Fans are on their feet. We'll run through the laundry list of penalties for those who are just joining us. First off, thanks so much. And second, sorry you missed that first period, because 2 seconds in, right off the opening face-off, it was Jesse Swanson against AJ Schlepp. 2 heavyweights Schlepp acquired today for this exact moment. The 6'8", 210-pound forward against Jesse Swanson, 6'8", about 230. 2 heavyweights. Good fight, mostly even. Both guys getting a couple of hard shots in. And then we played on a little longer, about 5.5 minutes in. Gennaro Franduto slashing at 5:31. Hat-tricks killed off the penalty. And then, probably the highlight of that first period, Ben Brockway locked on the ice due to the Hat-tricks getting last change, being the home team with Jesse Swanson. Swanson one-punched him down to the ice. Swanson, instigator and inciting an opponent, which is a misconduct. He is done for the game. Brockway and Swanson both get 5 minutes for fighting as well, but Hat-tricks did, of course, kill off another penalty from Port Huron as a result of that altercation. Then at 11:36, the Prowlers got a bench minor delay of game, which was served by Brockway. Hat-tricks did not score. And as we mentioned, a couple of penalties at the end of the period. Lockney for cross-checking at 19:08. And then 31 seconds later, it was Dennis Zajac with the slash to even things back up. First intermission here inside the Danbury Ice Arena. Hat-tricks and Prowlers. Of course, thanks so much for Apologies there, technical difficulties. Not exactly sure where we left off there with our recap. So what we'll do is we'll give you a recap at the start of the second period. No score after one. Hat-tricks and Prowlers in the season opener from Danbury. While the ice gets freshened up, let's hear from Hat-tricks head coach John Bierchin. I caught up with him earlier this week. Hey, Hat-tricks fans, the wait is almost over. We're just 2 days away from the season opener from right here inside the Danbury Ice Arena. Currently, we are in our Fairfield County Bank Premium Suites. I'm the Hat-tricks broadcaster, Doug Latuca, alongside the new head coach, John Bierchin. John, well, let's just address the elephant in the room. Last year didn't end the way that the Hat-tricks wanted, the flag plant at center ice. What should fans expect Friday night here at the DIA?
Before we get started, I think we need to present something that's long overdue, Doug. Can I see this? Doug, congratulations on your Broadcaster of the Year award last year. We know that you've been waiting for your trophy presentation from the league, and here you go.
Wow. This is really impressive. Was this a you and Lexi special?
It came from the league.
Yeah, I mean, look at the attention to detail here. That beautiful headshot. This is, you know what? This is going right on the mantle. It's going to go right here for the show.
This is on brand here.
That looks good.
Can we see this before we continue?
That looks really good. Are we centered with the award? We got to move it over. John's shoulder is cutting it off.
Yeah, we'll get angled here.
We're looking good. Thank you, Lexi, for lining us up. So thank you for the award. I appreciate that. And thank you to the FPHL.
Congratulations. We have the number one broadcaster in the league, so you need to be showcased here.
Thank you. Last year's number one broadcaster of the year. We'll try to run it back again this year. Why not? So thank you for the presentation. Thank you to the league for the award, of course, and all the other broadcasters and some of the front office personnel in the league. But here we go, 2025-26 season. You're here Friday night. Fans have been reaching out to us all summer long. What are you going to do? How are you going to respond? So what are we looking at?
It was one of the first things that I heard about when I got hired. I think I've mentioned this before, that usually you talk contracts or when you're arriving. And it was one of the first things that I heard about was we got to handle this situation. So, I mean, there's a 60-minute game, and you know, it could happen at the beginning, it could happen in the middle. Some of it depends on when Matt Graham is going to want it to happen. So for those who don't know, kind of the way that it operates is the visiting team has to give their starting lineup to us first, and then we can just decide who we want to start based on what they have put down. So, you know, it could be at the beginning, it could be, you know, later on in the game, but it's a 60-minute game, and it'll happen at some point.
Would you say there's one particular player or a couple of players that you have tapped or mentioned to that could be in the middle of some things once that puck drops, whenever that may be?
I think there's many people that have some regrets from the way that it ended and would like to handle it. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think there's a few people motivated to handle their business this weekend.
It's a pretty good promo for Friday and Saturday night here at the Danbury Ice Arena. John, training camp here with the Hat-tricks. It's been 2-3 weeks now. You've gotten the players here. You've gone through some drills, figuring out the roster, the personnel. What have been some overall takeaways? How have you fit in here in Danbury?
I mean, it's been parts of training camp have been slow because we've had to do a lot of teaching, but I think the guys are doing a good job of really trying to just soak it up and learn. And I'm really interested to see how it is on Friday and Saturday. I mean, we have a lot of new staff members as well, so that always makes it challenging. And we've spent a lot of hours as, you know, staff and players together just trying to get on the same page. So I'm very interested to see how it turns out. But I feel like we're as prepared as we're going to be, so we're all excited for Friday.
Typically, a new coaching staff can lean on some of the leaders in the locker room, a guy like Johnny Ruiz, who has been here since the inaugural season with the Hat-Tricks, and then a guy like Josh LaBelle, who's now entering his third year in Danbury. What have some of those leaders, the guys with the letters on their chest, meant in terms of this transition period?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because, it's not too many times you have a former coach now playing back on the team, but we have that in Johnny Ruiz, and he's been phenomenal the entire time since I've been hired. He's really been a shoulder to kind of lean on and just kind of educate me on things that go on behind the scenes and different situations in the league. And so he couldn't have been a better person and leader throughout. Him and his wife Taylor invited my family over, and we had a very nice night together. So he's been very supportive and very helpful. So it's great to have somebody like that leading in the locker room. With Josh LaBelle, he's a character. He keeps it light, and he always keeps us on his toes, but he's being challenged right now by Jesse Swanson for best talker on the team.
Yeah, I think those all kind of figure themselves out in the first few weeks. Those superlatives, class clown, loudest in the locker room, all those types of things will figure themselves out. LaBelle has led the way, I would say, as class clown for the last 2 seasons, but Swanson, 6'8", big guy, big personality. I've only interacted with him a couple of times, and he's already towering over everybody and making his presence felt.
I'm sure he will do that on Friday night as well.
There you go. Friday night. Be here at the Danbury Ice Arena. Also, another question mark for the Hat-Tricks this year will be in between the pipes. Connor McCullum, the starter the last 2 seasons, co-MVP last year with Johnny Ruiz, no longer with the team. Hat-Tricks carried 5 goaltenders into training camp. That has now dwindled down. Do you have a plan a couple days ahead of opening day who might be the starting goaltender for this year?
We have basically tomorrow's practice. So as of this recording on Wednesday afternoon, we have one more practice and then a morning skate on Friday. So everyone is still here has done a very good job, but I think it's going to be a tough decision for AJ and MJ and I. But whoever ends up in the net, we are confident that they will be able to lead us to victory this weekend.
Hat-Tricks have had a little bit of instability at the top over the last few seasons. After Billy McCreary was here for the majority of the beginning of this franchise, then, of course, it was Kyle Gonzalez, Johnny Ruiz last year with Matt Voidy helping out, and now you're here as the new head coach for this team. When we ask this question at the beginning of the year, we get a lot of the same answers. A lot of our fans know what Danbury hockey is, what the history is like with AJ and the Trashers, and then all the way through the years. But for your style, for your team, what are you trying to accomplish here with the Hat-Tricks going into this year?
Well, with AJ coming back and having a prominent role as GM, I think we're both on the same page that if you were to have the Danbury Trashers playing in the year 2025, that's the style of play that we're going to have. Now, back then there was maybe a little bit more fighting. Some of the stuff after the whistle, even some stuff, during the play that just isn't acceptable anymore. But if you were to see like an evolution and a 2025 version of the Danbury Trashers, I think that's the style of play we're going to have. So, we really like the way the Florida Panthers play in the NHL with their, they skate a lot, they forecheck a lot, the way that they're forechecking. They have a lot of players that are just annoying out there, and we have a lot of guys that can kind of play that role too. So it's not as much fighting as there was 20 years ago, but that annoying rats on the ice type mentality that is still there. So I think you would just see a modern day version of the Trashers if they were still around.
Your relationship with AJ, of course, he was a senior advisor last year to the then general manager, Matt Voidy. Now he steps back into the GM chair for the first time since he was a teenager back with the Trashers. How has your relationship been over the last month or so since you've gotten the job?
I've been extremely impressed with AJ. Everyone asks me about him, and I say he is exactly the way you see him on the documentary. But I think that's, one of AJ's strengths is he is just a very authentic person. and you know what you see is what you get, whether it's on a Netflix documentary or just in private, you know, in his office talking. So I have to give AJ a lot of credit. He puts in the work. He does a lot of research. And I mean, it's not any really different that he said on the documentary. And he is always extremely prepared every time we have a meeting, whether it's about lines or individual players or style of play or other teams in the league. So we have always been on the same page, like since day one. And that's always, you know, that's a hard relationship to kind of find and a hard chemistry to find. And it's been very enjoyable that, you know, we kind of see things the same way. And I think that's only going to show on the ice.
Friday night will be your first game behind the bench for the Danbury Hat-Tricks. I'm sure you've seen the videos. I'm sure you've heard from fans, companies that you visited over the last couple of weeks, anybody really that you've run into here at the Danbury Ice Arena about this atmosphere. What are you looking forward to most about the opener?
Just experiencing it. I've heard it's very unique and special, which is not words that you hear very often when you talk about, you know, an environment inside a stadium. You'll always hear like, oh, they're passionate and they're loud and this, but unique is not a word that you hear very often. And that's a word, unique and special, that I hear almost every time. So I'm just looking forward to experiencing it.
What can be different about coaching in the FPHL compared to overseas where you were for the majority, or at least the last couple of seasons?
I'm sure the physicality will be a lot higher. So the ice is smaller, so that will, you know, increase the speed a little bit because there's less areas on the ice to hide. But then there obviously is more hitting and stuff. So it'll be interesting on opening night to get to experience that again, but I am looking forward to it.
I mentioned a little bit of the marketing that you had already done with some of our sponsors, some of the companies over the last week or so that you've tried to get acquainted with. You've done a great job so far building some proposals, putting together some ideas in the office before the puck is even dropped. So I'm just going to let you give your best marketing pitch for Friday and Saturday night at the DIA opening night. I'll give you the microphone and let you go.
Well,
Coach, we don't really need to hear your marketing pitch because we just watched the first 20 minutes from here inside the Danbury Ice Arena, and it was really everything that we all expected. Some fights, a couple of quality scoring opportunities from both these teams, and a rivalry that has continued to boil and boil over the last couple of seasons. Empire Division foes going head-to-head. The Prowlers getting the best of the Hat-Tricks last year in the Empire Division semifinals en route to a two-game sweep to the hands of the Binghamton Black Bears in the second round of the playoffs. Hello again, Hat-Tricks fans. Doug Latuca with you from high above the surface here inside the Danbury Ice Arena. It is opening weekend from Danbury. Thank you as always for joining us. Working out some technical issues. There we go. You might have seen my face for just a minute. And now we are back. I was wondering, where are the players? Can't see them. We got it back. All righty. Hat-Tricks are in the black uniforms with the orange shoulder pads. Black pants, black socks with the white and orange striping. Prowlers in their brand new white jerseys. Red shoulder pads. Red pants, white socks, red and yellow striping. 4-on-4 hockey to get things going in the second period. Lockney in the box for the Prowlers. It is Zajac in the box for the Hat-Tricks. Jesse Swanson accompanying him in the left penalty box as well. Looks like maybe his night is not over. Could have just been a partial misconduct, not a full game misconduct. So teams will flip sides. We're still in search of goal number one. 4-on-4, Hat-Tricks have Ruiz, Legkov, Christou, and LaBelle out there. And right off the jump, a shot off the shoulder of McClendon, off the stick of Artu Haikala. It's kicked along up the far side wall and trickles out of the Hat-Trick zone. Quick up Johnson off the skate of Millette. He'll chug the legs after it. Josh LaBelle beats him to it. Alex Legkov knocked to the ice by Millette, and he drew a penalty. McClendon out of the goal. Delayed penalty 30 seconds in to the second period. Hattrick still with possession. They defend the right net here in period 2. Pass out of the reach of Legkov, touched up. And Danbury will head to the man advantage for the third time in this game. Teams are a combined 0 for 5 with the man up. And this 4-on-4. Will now turn to a 4-on-3 with Danbury up a man. Just 44 ticks into the middle frame. Shots 13-8 Port Huron. Ruiz with Tomasi, LaBelle, and Pamelayan. Right circle draw. Swatted to the far wall, LaBelle. Controls for the Hattricks. Ruiz back to LaBelle. Straight away, wrist shot. Tipped off the back glass. Rebound kicked in front. Batted away. Clear attempt successful by Federley. A minute gone by, second period. Ruiz bursting down the left wall. He shoots, and a glove save by Cooper. And no rebound with a bit of traffic in front. Started up by Zach Pamelayan. Hattrick sending 3 of their returners out there on this 4-on-3 power play. The captain, Johnny Ruiz, 11 power play goals, led the team last year. He's pretty much the leader in every significant offensive category in Danbury Hattrick's history, and Danbury hockey history for that matter. It's the same 4 out there for the Hattricks. Referees talking to Ben Brockway. He was kind of tangled up with Ruiz as they both skated towards their respective benches. Ruiz hit the brakes, comes back out, sets up for a left circle draw against Lucas Lockney. Lockney strong on his stick, swats it back. Lockhart gets free from Pamelayan, and Matt Graham off to the races. His pass intercepted. So the Hattricks will control. 4-on-3 power play for Danbury. A turnover, and Graham up ahead for Lockney. Down the left wing, offensive zone drops for Graham, left circle. Toe drags around, backhand pass through the slot, all the way down as it glides into Port Huron territory. It's poked ahead by Brett Morich. Hattrick's control. Austin Belfay zipping, right wall. Offensive zone, flicks it off the back boards. Franduto across for Legkov. Second unit out with 40 on the power play. Legkov to Craig, who quarterbacks. Franduto right circle towards the goal all the way through. Collected near side, Legkov. Up top, Craig. Franduto to the near side, Legkov. It was deflected. He'll angle it for Belfay. Ring in the left circle, harassed by Lockhart. But he swings it down low. Legkov pries it free, tries to dangle towards the middle. He was hooked. Couldn't control the puck, and the Prowlers fire it down the ice. Craig trying to catch Port Huron. He does. Franduto, right wing. Johnson getting back, cuts him off. It's kicked back behind the net, and Bussell headmans Heikala. Left wing. It's dropped off. Millette, high slot. He shoots, blocked. Millette back in the far corner. He'll walk up the wall. Tap it down low. It's a loose puck in the corner. Tomasi poking at it. Millette keeps it. It's helped out of the zone and flicked in deep. It rings all the way out to center. Johnson runs into Tomasi, gets upended. Lockhart crunched near the scorer's area. Far side boards. Quick up. Johnny Ruiz waiting for numbers. Right wing drops Tomasi. Slapper, and a save by Cooper as he waffle boarded into the netting back behind the net. 3 minutes, 34 seconds elapsed here in the second period. Shots are 13-11 favoring the visitors, and no score on a Friday night season opener, 2025-26 season. Both teams have had a myriad of opportunities, both goaltenders perfect. Right circle draw. Graham for the Prowlers, now replaced by Lockney, who gets the call after Graham gets kicked. Zajac for the hat-tricks, and Lockney wins it. Nick Favaro, circled back behind his net, starts the breakout from left to right. Tapped into the right corner, Millette. Will chug the legs after it. Tries to reverse. Stops, starts, up the wall, shoots wide right. Off the backboards. Spinning with it, Lockney, Zajac. Poke checking it to his teammate. Hat-tricks will possess with Dimitri Christou, and a backhand sauce for Zajac. Up ahead, Legkov with speed. Drags towards the middle, knocked away by Brockway. Pass down low over the stick of Legkov, who was near the left post. He gets sandwiched in the corner. Legkov spins off of it. Matt Graham for the Prowlers, softly off the far wall. Kicked down by Movalli. Took a hit, makes a play. Shoving match behind the net. Parsons against Legkov near the end boards. Puck squirts free. Legkov takes a hit. Centering pass just out of the reach of the streaking Ethan Esposito. Miscommunication, Movalli and Delary. Delary gets there for Danbury, and his clear attempt nicks off the dasher into the netting, and another stoppage brings up a face-off in the hat-trick's end. Both teams make changes. Josh Newberg, Zach Pamaleon, and Ethan Esposito up front for Danbury. Prowlers win the face-off. Left circle, it's Johnson. He'll whip it to the right corner. Gathered in by Beisel. A shot pass blocked down. Craig starts the rush for the hat-tricks right to left. LaBelle out of the reach of Zach Pamaleon. And Johnson on the backhand flicks it wide left of McClendon. Back to retrieve is Connor Craig for the hat-tricks. Can't clear. A snapshot gloved by McClendon. Came from the far wall, was a riser, and snatched with the mitt of Frankie McClendon, who so far tonight is 14 for 14 on save opportunities. Hat-tricks have 11 shots. Reed Cooper has stopped them all. Haven't seen much of that third line, Ethan Esposito, Josh Newberg, and Zach Pamaleon here tonight. Hat-tricks dressing just 5 defensemen in this one. The scratch is Charlie Bedard, who many will remember from last year, number 2 on defense. So he is not in the lineup here tonight. Maybe that's just because Jesse Swanson draws in due to the Brockway drama. And who knows, that could be the recipe tomorrow. It could be the recipe moving forward, but that's really what game 1 is all about, because things could look quite different when we're talking about the Danbury hat-tricks in December, February, March, and then into the playoffs in April. .5:14 gone by here in the second period. Still looking for the season's first goal. Prowlers out shooting Danbury 14-11. A shot from Millette blocked off the shin pad of Joshua Tomasi. LaBelle outletting Ruiz, ramps off his stick. Foot race, Millette joins Ruiz in the right corner, Prowler zone. They battle to a side. Frandudo helping out Ruiz on the hat-trick's end. Right point, Craig to the near side, LaBelle. He shoots, goes wide, and just out of the reach of Ruiz on the back door. And the Prowlers escape the zone. Angled off the boards, Graham looking for the shrieking Favaro, does find him. Another tie-up, one-handed along. LaBelle's pass, pitchforked out to center by Ruiz, who went down to one knee. In the meantime, it's Millette storming back in. Right wing, hits the brakes. Passes to the top, Bussell, a shot, it fluttered on and blocker saved by McClendon to the far wall. LaBelle, pass in front, nearly given away. It is. Prowlers possess. It's Johnson shooting, scores! Hat-tricks turn the puck over. Alex Johnson all alone in the high slot. Snaps it inside the right post. And the Port Huron Prowlers score goal number 1 of the 2025-26 season. It is the veteran Alex Johnson who is trying to shush the crowd after an impactful and energetic first period. Johnson beats McClendon for the first blemish of the night for Danbury. First bit of adversity for this hat-trick squad in the new year. And they go with the second line of Zajac, Legkov, and Belfay. And a takeaway from Zajac. Flips it ahead through Legkov, out of the reach of Belfay. Bouncing puck at center ice. Vacuumed in by Morich. He'll chip in charge. Zajac settles a rolling puck. Turned it over. Morich ladles down low. Beisel for Millette. Charging up the near side. Navigates the blue line. Down the left wall. Around a few checks. Millette still possessing. Almost at a full circle. Now in the slot. Gives off. Johnson the goal scorer. Left point for Millette. Straight away. He drags. Shoots. Blocked away by Zajac. Ricochets far corner. Johnson. Pass in front. Saved by McClendon. It's underneath him. And he covers up. Valley protecting the crease. Swanson released from the penalty box. And he's still available for the rest of this game. So currently, it's Lucas Lockney's goal from Austin Federley at 6:21. If that is the case, then Johnson would get an assist. That's only if Lockney tipped the puck. But as of now, it just says Lockney from Federley. For the game's opening goal at 6:21. There we go. It's Johnson from Lockney and Bussell at 6:21 here in the second period. Shot 16-11 unofficially, favoring the Prowlers. A packed house here in Danbury. Fans have been waiting all summer long for Hat-Tricks hockey to return. First period did not disappoint. Hat-Tricks looking to crack the scoreboard as we creep closer to the midway point in the second. Plenty of time left. Esposito slingshots it around the boards. Kamalayan, one hands for Esposito, left corner. Low to high LaBelle. Across, Delroy shoots at a save by Cooper. And Delory will snap it in, hits off a awkward part of the boards out in front, and Cooper steers it aside. Lead pass Bussell, right through center, evades a check, right wing Bussell drags to the goal, he gets wiped out of the play by Trey Delory, who caught Bussell with his head down and made him pay, dislodged him of the puck. Hat-Tricks cannot clear, huge hit along the far side boards. And Johnny Ruiz struggling. And Josh Tomasi is going to stand up for his teammate against Jamie Bussell. Ruiz laboring as he glides towards the bench. Tomasi against Bussell once again at the center ice logo. They engage. A right from Tomasi. Bussell keeps his feet. Big uppercut. Tomasi letting him feel it with the rights. Helmet off for Bussell, down to a knee, and the refs step in. That's a winner for Josh Tomasi. Fans are eating it up. As much as you want to celebrate the fight, of course, There is cause for concern for the Hat-Tricks captain, who got crunched along the far boards, hat-trick zone. Got up slowly, labored towards the bench, and I don't see him on the Hat-Tricks bench at the moment. Of course, hope he is all right. He is a huge piece of the puzzle for Danbury. And Josh Tomasi, in his first game as a hat-trick, standing up for Mr. Danbury. Tomasi spent the last 2 seasons with the Watertown Wolves. Over almost 240 penalty minutes in 73 games played. Playing on a line with Ruiz and Fronduto today. And drops the gloves to keep this party going. Section 102, barking at Matt Graham. We got some interaction between the fans and the Port Huron bench. Well, all that really started from that huge hit laid on by Trey Delory, the rookie D-man, big rookie D-man to say the least at 6'5". And then Ruiz was checked, and Tomasi took care of Bussell. So 2 of the 3 fights we've had tonight have been dead center ice, right where the flag was planted by Ben Brockway last year to finish off the hat-trick season in the deciding game 3 of the opening round. The Hat-Tricks have tried to inflict some pain on Port Huron. So far they've done that in terms of physically, but on the goal, in the goal column, on the scoreboard, it is 1-0 Port Huron. The penalties are still filing in. We've already got a rap sheet of penalties, and we're not even midway through the contest. So Tomasi and Bussell should get 5 minutes each for fighting, and we should have no loss of manpower on the ice, unless there was initial penalty called on either one of them. Looks like there's one player in the bench. Oh, there are 2 players in the bench for the Prowler, in the penalty box rather, for the Prowlers. You know that you'll get the 5 minutes each for fighting to Tomasi and Bussell, and they give boarding. They give boarding to Bussell as well, served by Millette. It's a 5-minute major. Jamie Bussell boarding. So Millette will actually come out of the box, and they will put Schlepp in the penalty box to serve this 5-minute power play. So the Hat-Tricks with a golden opportunity to not only take the lead, to not only tie the game, but to take the lead. 5 minutes of power play opportunity. Left corner, it's Pamelayan off the faceoff. Up top, Christou. Across quickly, Zajac for Christou. He shoots, blocked by an Ealing Parsons. Clear attempt just out of the reach of LaBelle. So, of course, no Johnny Ruiz, who was on the other end of the board, laid on by Bussell, which has the Hat-Tricks on the power play. Danbury's most lethal goal scorer. Not on the bench for Danbury. Hope he's all right. Hat-Tricks will try to make the Prowlers pay. Zajac flips it ahead, one-handed back behind the net. Past Craig. LaBelle sprints to it, keeps left point. Delory drops off. Craig shoots, and a save by Cooper right into the breadbasket of the second-year netminder. Hat-Tricks will be forced to shuffle up these power play lines. Almost approaching the midway point of the season opening game. The only goal so far at 6:21 of this period. Alex Johnson from Lucas Lockney and Jamie Bussell, a wrist shot from the high slot. Face off left circle. Prowlers captain Austin Federley Veteran forward Josh Newberg for Danbury. And a keep with the left skate by Christou. He's stapled to the boards, and it's swatted out of the zone by Dylan Marty, who was on one knee. He'll dart to the bench for a change. Hat-Tricks reorganizing their zone. Already a minute gone on the 5-minute major for charging against Jamie Bussell. Christou navigates the zone. Down the right wall, centers. Newberg in the slot. He shoots! Save by Cooper. Johnson can't clear. Kept in right point, Belfay. He'll creep in. Swings it across Legkov. Ring left circle. A one-timer by Frondudo. Whistles wide. Legkov dropping Christou. Left point. Surveys. Belfay for Christou. Right point. His shot blocked and cleared by DeCumbis for Port Huron. Both teams make full changes. Legkov flying through center ice. Outnumbered, drops for Pamelayan, left side of the blue. Pamelayan straight away. LaBelle shoots, saved by Cooper, and it's ramped off the stick, out of play. And immediate timeout here in Danbury. So the Hat-Tricks about midway through on their 5-minute power play chance following the Jamie Bussell charging call against, which for the moment has the Hat-Tricks captain Johnny Ruiz out. We got some birthday celebrations going on here in Danbury. It's Zane's 7th birthday. Look at that fun party. He's got all of his best buddies with him. They're in the Fairfield County Bank Premium Suites for a fun night out at the Hat-Tricks and Prowlers season opening game. He's going to participate in our Peach Wave of Bethel. Find the yogurt. He guessed it's under hat number 3. All right, it's not under number 2, so he could be alive. He's going to stick with number 3. Does he have the yogurt? Oh, he got it. Not only the birthday party here in Danbury, but he's got the yogurt, and he gives everyone here in attendance some free yogurt. All you got to do is pick up the coupon pack at the end of the game. They're handed out to every fan that leaves the arena, and you can redeem your coupons at Peach Wave of Bethel. Back to the game action. 3 minutes left on the Hat-Tricks power play. Bussell in the box for charging, a 5-minute major. So if the Hat-Tricks score, they'll still keep the remaining time on the man advantage. They're down 1-0. 9.5 on the clock, second period. Off the draw, LaBelle, one-timer to glove snag from Cooper. Gliding from right to left was Cooper in that blue paint. LaBelle let one fly and snatched by Cooper, who was in net for Port Huron when they eliminated the Hat-Tricks last year. Hat-Tricks win the face-off clean. It eludes Craig near the blue line, and the Hat-Tricks reset. Josh LaBelle with Connor Craig, Dennis Zajac, Zach Pamelayan, and Trey Delory. Delory bursting in. His shot sails wide right. Kept alive LaBelle. Quick passing across. Tipped just in front of the Hat-Tricks bench. And it rolls out to center ice. 2:20 remaining on the man advantage. Craig near the blue line. It hit the linesman. He chases after his dump in. He gets smeared along the end boards. Loose puck, Zajac kicking at it. It squirts free for Heikkila. And he fires down. Again, teams making changes. 2 minutes left. Legkov. His pass knocked down. He's got it back. Left wing ozone. Legkov, back pass. In front all the way through, hoping for Belfay back door. Instead, Christou creeping in. His centering pass knocked down by Johnson. And he soars it to the right of the Hat-Tricks net. Picked up off the end boards. Legkov showing off the wheels again. Gets the red, gets the blue. Newberg near side, drops back out of the zone. Christou a little late to the party. Belfay through the legs of Newberg. He'll chase after it. He collides with Parsons, left corner. 1:10 on the power play. 1-0 Prowlers, under 8 left here in the second period. Shots nearly even. Only goal, Alex Johnson, 6 minutes into this period. A log jam in the near corner, and the refs will blow it dead. Setting up an offensive zone face-off for the Hat-Tricks. Who will score Danbury's first goal? I'm peeking over at the Hat-Tricks bench, and I do not see the captain, Johnny Ruiz. We did not get a good look on the replay, but in real time it looked like his head might have hit off against the glass, and Ruiz, of course, with a history of concussions. Won't assume anything. We'll have to wait to see if he returns one or what the diagnosis is after the game. It's worked free. Craig shoots and a glove save by Cooper. Hat-Tricks working the puck around quickly off the face-off. Craig point blank high slot. And again, Cooper flashes that glove to keep it a 1-0 Prowlers lead. Mentioned the Hat-Tricks only have 5 defensemen dressed. Their top unit right now, without Ruiz, has Zajac, Kamaleon, with Delory, Craig, and LaBelle. So 3 defensemen out there. Looks like Delory, though, is on the left wing. He is. Up top, Craig. Right point, LaBelle, back for Craig. Return, LaBelle, his snapper, score! There it is! Goal number 1 of the year. It's Josh LaBelle. Snapshot, high slot, power play goal, 1-1. Only a matter of time before the Hat-Tricks would make the Prowlers pay on the 5-minute major for charging. And LaBelle, the quarterback of the power play, received a return feed straight away, snapped it under the bar. 1-1 the score, 7:15 to go, second period. A quick release, top right corner over the glove of Cooper, and we are even. Hat-Tricks still with the man up for 40 seconds. It's wheeled in. Brian Parsons runs into Christou. Harwell, backdoor! It's off the post! It's still free. LaBelle straight away, shoots, pad save, rebounds loose, kicked on goal, and Craig hops on top. Rather, Cooper is on top. We got a couple gloves to the face in front of the blue paint. Troy Harwell, who set up Craig near the ring of the right circle, almost made it 2-1. Instead, the post kept it out. Sure, we'll get a better look. Hat-Tricks have some life. Taking advantage of some undisciplined play from the Prowlers. Hat-Tricks doing it without their captain. They score the game-tying goal on the power play. Their first. The first of the season. And it looks like they're gonna potentially review to see if this puck went in the net. They're queuing up the replay. So it was a quick pass across, and Craig, oh, looks like it went off the back bar. It's tough to see. It was a heck of a pass. Troy Harwell for Connor Craig. Right after the Hat-Tricks tied the game, it was a pass across, and it either hit that left post or it hit the bar in the back. Now the refs have the iPad downstairs, and they could certainly take a look on the iPad, which is the view up above the net. They have access to that. Now the Hat-Tricks would have to challenge it, And it looks like head coach John Bierchin is gonna wave off that challenge. Play on, 18 seconds left on the Bussell charging major. Hat-tricks already have 1 goal with that man up. Hat-tricks win the draw. Craig slips it for Delory, near side. Far side. It's LaBelle. Dropping it for Zajac. He shoots, ramped off the stick into the netting. We will get the names correct, folks. It might take me a game, but I will get this correct. Trey Delory, big number 22, has been very active here tonight, getting some big power play moments. Hat-tricks are on the board. LaBelle from Craig and Delory at 12:45 on the power play. Hat-tricks now lead the shot category 22-16. Final 3 of the power play. They win it. Legkov shoots, deflected off a body to the left corner, right out of the box. It is Schlepp. He'll glide to the bench. Meanwhile, Millette storming in, left side. He shoots wide right. McClendon down on the ground, trying to get back to his skates. Millette, right circle to the back. Johnson drag, shoots, airmailed it off the back glass. Graham steals the ring around pass. He controls, centers for Millette. Sliding it far side. Johnson beat to the puck. It's lumberjacked out to center. Legkov trying to get around Graham. Instead, Millette comes to the rescue with under 6 minutes remaining second period. 1-1 Hat-tricks and Prowlers from the Danbury Ice Arena. Game 1 of the season. Lockney pestered by Legkov, who wins the puck. He'll wind it in deep. Esposito crashes with Brockway near corner. Newberg keeps it alive. His shot blocked down, swept by Christou, kept it in momentarily. And it's dragged out to center by Ben Brockway. He'll tap it in deep. Mo Valley keeps it moving to the near side. Esposito had hopped his stick, took a big hit in the corner. And now Mo Valley comes over. Another fight. Mo Valley trying to get his hands free. 2 strong individuals in the corner. And Mo Valley, once again, getting a couple of punches in there. Refs step in. And Mo Valley gets this crowd back on its feet. So that was Brett Morich. And it's a crowded penalty box for the Prowlers. There might have been an initial penalty on the hit, which sent Esposito down. There was a bit of a tie-up in that corner. Mo Valley felt like he still had his right hand free. Morich threw a punch after the fact, but his jersey was over his head. He couldn't really see what was going on anyway. Well, it seems like it wasn't just us, the fans, broadcasters, spectators really, that were anticipating this type of a night. The players were also looking forward to opening night. They had October 10th circled on their calendars. And this is what it has delivered so far. Really, at the end of the day, a win would go a heck of a longer way than any of these fights or anything like that. Good news, though, for the Hat-tricks. There is Johnny Ruiz. He is back on the ice. Of course, took that high hit from Jamie Bussell earlier in this period. He is on the ice now. Meanwhile, off to our right, section 102, Alex Johnson, familiar with Danbury. Former Titan. You got Swanson and Schlepp still jawing at each other. The only thing separating them is that pane of glass in between the benches. You do have a linesman in the middle of things, MJ Markle for Danbury and Chris Paulin for Huron. Lots of discussion here tonight. Chris Paulin calling 5-on-5 from his bench. Right now you have Morich and Mo Valley each 5 minutes for fighting. Also, earlier in the period, you had Troy Harwell and Brian Parsons, unsportsmanlike conduct, both coincidental minor penalties. So it's 5-on-5, 5:19 left in this second period. 1-1 the score. Prowlers on the board first. It was Johnson at 6:21. Hat-tricks answered about 6 minutes later. LaBelle on the power play. And a 1-1 the score. Game 1 of 2 this weekend, and game 1 of 7 between these two sides, 5 of which will be played here in Danbury. Ferndudo whips it up the right wall. Take it in by Johnson for the Prowlers, and Port Huron from left to right. It's snapped in around. Austin Federley left it, given away. Clear attempt, unsuccessful, and a tip try from Federley up and out of play into the netting. And a media stoppage here in Danbury. The score 1-1. Final 5 minutes of hockey coming up next right here on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Back inside the Danbury Ice Arena, Doug Latuca with you. There's AJ Galante firing up the crowd, participating in our Finish the Lyric activity here today. If you're just joining us, welcome aboard. The 25-26 season has begun. Prowlers struck first. It was Johnson in the high slot, ripping one past McClendon at 6:21. Lockney and Bussell, the helpers. And then 6 minutes and change later, power play goal. LaBelle from Craig and Delory. After the Bussell charging major, good news is Johnny Ruiz is back. Here's Alexander Legkov, fresh off the D-zone draw. Drops it off for Zajac, and a huge hit along the near side boards. Legkov gets back to his skates. Belfay tried to go after Dylan Marty, who laid on the hit. Both benches stand up yet again. It has been fight night here at the DIA. Legkov, a young, skilled player, took a hit, got right back up. He's arguably been the Hat-Trick's most noticeable player in this opening game. Fans have certainly been entertained. Well, Marty is being ushered to the penalty box. Of course, early in the season, always evaluating what you have, what carries over from last year, what needs to change. A lot of new faces for the Hat-Tricks, many of them trying to make their mark early on in the season. Hat-Tricks had a very competitive training camp, that free agent camp as well. Ended up with a goaltender in Kyle Penton, who's the backup tonight. But right there, Austin Belfay came flying in trying to help Legkov. Instead, he backs off, and the Hat-Tricks go back to the power play. Their only goal has come on the power play. It was LaBelle, 12:45 of this period. Errant pass angles off the far side boards and back into the hat-trick zone. So Dylan Marty is in the penalty box for Port Huron. The call charging. It's the second charging penalty on Port Huron here tonight. Keep at the right point, LaBelle shoots, tipped, saved by Cooper with Ruiz swarming in front. Well, the Hat-Tricks didn't have Johnny Ruiz for their 5-minute power play earlier on in this period. He has returned, thankfully, and he is taking the face-off at the right circle. Out there with Pamelayan, Zajac, LaBelle, and Tomasi. And a hard pass through Tomasi. Here comes Federley down the right wing. He shoots, right pad saved by McClendon. Short-handed opportunity for the Prowlers captain. And McClendon stands his ground, keeps it 1-1. 1:10 to go on the man up. A dump in, chase after from Favaro for Port Huron. He fired it up and out of play, and they say it was deflected, so no penalty. Federley nearly made it. 2-1 Prowlers. Well, those who watched the playoffs last year remember, it was a shorthanded goal early in that playoff series, which really ignited that Prowlers comeback on their home ice. Ended up winning that game 6-3 after being down a couple of goals. Hat-Tricks win the ozone draw. And the high slot, it's Belfay fighting for it. Wins it, Legkov near half wall. Gets rid of a check, Belfay left circle, pass across, knocked away, and another delayed penalty now. McClendon was going to the bench, and this is going to be a 5-on-3 power play for 44 seconds. High sticking is the call. Danbury has been given opportunities by the Prowlers all night. Their only goal came following that Bussell charge. And it seems like every time you look at that penalty box, there's 3 white jerseys in there. It results in a 5-on-3 power play. Hat-Tricks with the same 5, Ruiz, Pamelayan, Zajac, Tomasi, and LaBelle. Federley kicked from the draw for the Prowlers. Johnson steps in, Ruiz wins. Right point, LaBelle. He'll watch, pass for Ruiz. Knocked away by Federley, but LaBelle regains. Center point, near side, Ruiz shoots, fluttered wide of the goal, didn't get all of it. Zajac regathers far corner, up top, LaBelle walks, pass down low, save. Tomasi trying to stuff it, stopped by Cooper. Tomasi, left circle, to Ruiz across. LaBelle shoots, save with the stick by Cooper, and he gobbles it up in the blue paint. Lots of action for Reed Cooper here tonight. 26 shots from the Hat-Tricks. 1 has beaten him. It was over his glove. Top right corner from LaBelle. Still 18 ticks on the 5-on-3. Of course, you have to watch Dylan Marty out of the box when that time comes. Hat-Tricks again prevail on the draw. Center point, LaBelle. Low right, Zajac. Return from LaBelle to Zajac. Up top, LaBelle. He shoots, tipped. Stopped by Cooper. Pamelayan got a piece. LaBelle, near side, Ruiz. Slap shot. Stopped by Cooper. Got the blocker on it. Marty freed from the penalty box. Puck tied up near wall. Squirts out for Marty. 1-on-3 into the ozone. Right wing. He shoots, blocked by the leg of LaBelle. Zajac cuts him off. But the puck trickles out to center, and it's Marty playing back for Favaro, wasting some time on the Hat-Tricks power play. 53 seconds remaining on the man up. 2 minutes left in the second period. 1-1 the score. Season opener. Hat-Tricks and Prowlers playoff rematch. A giveaway at center ice. Prowlers from left to right. Here's Heikkila shooting. Deflected wide. Rims around near side and reversed to Gennaro Fronduto. Hat-Tricks debut here tonight. The rookie forward. Giving off for Austin Belfay. Dances through, he shoots! Save off the chest of Cooper. Clear attempt, glove down, Legkov. Right point with 20 on the man advantage. Center point, Craig. Far side, Legkov. Shoved by Favaro, wins the puck. Craig one-timer, stopped by Cooper, and no rebound. Had a bit of a juggle, but it never left his midsection. Hatrick's 30th shot results in another Reed Cooper save. Hatrick's mentioned last year on the power play, were third in the league. Tonight, of course, they have a goal from LaBelle, looking for more against the 6'2" netminder Reed Cooper. So far, they've beaten him just once. Power play is over, so the Prowlers survive a 5-on-3. Loose puck near wall, Ruiz poking it towards the middle. Bouncing puck, glove down, Ruiz. Knocked off his stick. Esposito crunches Millette. Meanwhile, the Prowlers flip it in behind McClendon. Delory for Craig, softly up the far half wall and poked out to center. Hatrick's on the move. It's Craig right wing, flips one on goal, saved by Cooper, and he opts for the whistle with under a minute remaining in the second period. Both these teams trying to clean up their game. Of course, game one of the season, lots undecided still. Both teams with a goal. Hatrick's win another faceoff. Christo a drive into the breadbasket of Cooper. Hatricks have not been afraid to let it fly, especially from up top. Danbury opting to dress just 5 defensemen here tonight, but they have certainly racked up the minutes. With the power plays, you've seen LaBelle, Craig, and Delory a bunch. Christou also, who is paired out there now with LaBelle. Left circle draw. Zajac for the youngster Legkov. Swats it off the near wall. Fighting for it. Stops, starts, gives off LaBelle. Shot tipped wide left. Belfay. To the back, LaBelle across Christou. Keeps it alive. He'll bat it down low. Belfay stops it with one hand. Legkov near wall. To the right side, Christou. Traffic in front. Lets one go. Flutters towards goal. Knocked down Bucel. Legkov wins the puck in the far wall. To the right point, Christou with 10 seconds. LaBelle shoots! Hit a body in front, free puck, and a penalty on Newberg. Bucel having trouble getting back to his skates. It was a free puck that went airborne, plopped down. Bucel collided with Newberg, and it might have been leg on leg because Bucel is still down. We'll see the severity of the penalty, if it's 2 or 5. Of course, depends if the refs thought there was malicious intent. Looked to me as though both players were looking for the puck. It's almost in between the circles in the Prowler zone. And Newberg's leg contacted Bucel's leg. And some Prowler fans holding their breath here. The veteran forward, big part of this Prowlers team, was very noticeable last year in the playoffs, a leader for them. And Bucel gets back up to his skates, but he's not putting any pressure on that right leg as he is laboring back towards the bench. 2 minutes up on the board against Newburgh. So the Prowlers could win an offensive zone faceoff and get one shot here at the end of the period. 1-1 the score. Johnson at 6:21 for Port Huron. Power play goal from Josh LaBelle at 12:45, the first of the year. Right circle face-off, hat-trick zone. Final seconds of the second period. Prowlers will most likely start the game, rather the third period on the power play. It's Graham against Ruiz. We're ready to go. Puck is dropped, and they'll do it again. Ruiz won it clean, but Graham was not prepared. Looks like we will drop it again. They're gonna have to put some more time back on that clock. It's dwindled down to 2.1. It was at 3.2, and they have fixed the error. And they're not ready quite yet. Referee still over at the scorer's area. Crawling to the second intermission horn. Puck is down, and 40 minutes in the books here in Danbury. Federally went after Christou in the right corner after the whistle. Let's see if anything comes of that. Well, it's a 1-1 hockey game after 2 periods in one of the most highly anticipated games in recent memory. After all the nonsense that went on last year during the post-game of Game 3, Jesse Swanson asserted himself in the first period. Danbury trailed 1-0 on a goal from Alex Johnson. Found a free puck just above the circles, let one rip inside the right post. Lucas Lockney and Jamie Bussell credited with the assists. And the hat-tricks answered that up 6 minutes and 24 seconds later. Here's Lexi Berkey-Yao with Josh Tomasi.
Just something new to you. How did it feel to get on the action and to be accepted by the people in this room for once?
I mean, obviously, Danbury is a great place to play, and the atmosphere is, the best in the league. So, it's we're very blessed to have you guys come on every night and cheer us on. So we're super excited for this year, and all that we want is another championship. So that's what we're working for.
All right, we still got another 20 minutes left of play. What do you think needs to happen in the next 20 to finish this game out?
I think we just need to match their intensity, stay physical, finish checks, and the puck will bounce our way. So.
All right, thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Josh LaBelle after 1. That's Josh Tomasi after 2. 1-1 the score. Prowlers only used up 4 seconds of that Josh Newburgh penalty at the very end of the frame. So they will start with the man up. Period number 3 is coming up here on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. But first, we're going to watch some Chuck-a-Puck. We're going to have a little bit of fun. I believe we're going to get a shot from center ice. We shall see. It's, of course, game number 1 of the year. We got the Chuck-a-Puck Masters all coming out here tonight, trying to show off their skills. We got James and Gary, who are the regular Chuck-a-Puckers. They hang out right behind the Hat-Tricks bench, and they seem to win quite a bit. Looks like we got our TK center ice shot. So we'll get a shot from the blue line.
Who's your favorite hockey team? Rangers, good pick. All right, you're going to try to put
His favorite team, the New York Rangers. An opportunity to send fans home with some free wings from TK's American Cafe on White Street. Kid looks like he knows what he's doing. Stick handling in the pajamas. Oh, and he missed wide left.
All right, got 2 more.
All right, kid, show us what you got. He's got the boots with the pajamas. Nice colorful sweatshirt. Some nice art on the back. He's really measuring this one up, and he shoots just wide right. He went down to a knee on that one, trying to get a little extra oomph on it. His third opportunity, flexes the stick, center of the blue line, shooting towards the right net. He lets it fly, and he got it. Center cut, free wings for all. Now we got James and Gary ready to go, as is the rest of this Hat Tricks crowd. Nearly a sellout for the home opener here in Danbury.
All right, fans, it's time for Chuck.
It's been a very entertaining hockey game, to say the least. Very physical in the first period. Plenty of power play opportunities in the second period, and each team with 1 goal to show for it. Hat Trick's goal did come on the power play, and the Hat Trick's kill will be tested right off the jump in that third period because of the carryover. So they're firing pucks away.
All right, here's Chuck a Puck, brought to you by Crumble. Chuck a Puck.
Crumble, chuck a puck, firing those pucks away. Knew we would have a great turnout for Chuck a Puck this year. And here they come. Game 1. Who will take home the prizes? Plenty of prizes from left to right. You get the more exclusive prizes in those little top hats that are not on your screen. The big trash cans, the cash prize has been like that for forever. But some more exclusive prizes in those little top hats. Experimented with it last year, really enjoyed the way it turned out. And we're going to go with it again. We have not had anybody successfully sink one into a top hat. They're weighted down by game pucks. Looks like we got one from James Generali. Some of you might be wondering who James is. He's here at every home game practically. And he plays Chuck-a-Buck every time. Usually ends up winning. Well, he's taking home some cash here tonight. We'll divvy up that $200 prize in the middle. As they clean up the Chuck-a-Puck, we will step aside. After 2 periods from the Danbury Ice Arena, the Hat Tricks and the Prowlers are knotted up at 1. Game 1 of 56 in a long 2025-26 campaign. Don't go anywhere. Third period action is coming up next. The Hat Tricks Digital Network. Raise a glass to great beer at Charter Oak Brewing Company, located here in Danbury. Enjoy 10 rotating drafts, live local music, and a shaded beer garden perfect for your next event. Visit us online at charteroakbrewing.com to learn more. When life brings legal challenges, trust Chipman, Mizuko, and Emerson. From business law and real estate to estate planning and litigation, our experienced attorneys are here to guide you every step of the way. Proudly serving clients across Fairfield County and Western Connecticut. Learn more at danburylaw.com. Nothing freshens like an ice-cold Coca-Cola. From classic Coke to a wide variety of sparkling and still drinks, we've got something for everyone. Learn more at CokeNortheast.com, because every sip deserves a smile. Looking for the best in beverage distribution? Choose DiCello Distributors. From Anheuser-Busch to local craft beers, we offer a full range of beer, cider, and non-alcoholic options. Serving New Haven, Fairfield, and Middlesex counties, we're committed to quality service and community. Visit DiCello.com to learn more. Diversified Printing Solutions is your full-service print partner in Danbury. With over 50 years of combined experience, we handle everything from graphic design and branded premiums to bindery mailing and smaller large print runs. DPS doesn't just print, we help you communicate from concept to delivery. Visit us online at dprintingsol.com. Struggling with pain or mobility issues? Turn to Hartsburg Chiropractic Health Center in Danbury. Specializing in posture correction, sports injuries, sciatica, arthritis, and more, our patients rave about personalized care and lasting results. Visit hartsburgchiropractic.com to schedule your consultation. Recover with confidence at Hat City Physical Therapy. Personalized care for sports injuries, post-surgical rehabilitation, and chronic conditions. As the official PT provider for the Danbury Hat-Tricks, we specialize in advanced treatments like dry needling, cupping, and KT taping. Visit us online at hatcityphysicaltherapy.com to schedule a consultation. Serving handcrafted drinks, Cash and Live Coffee Creations combine flavor, creativity, and community in every cup. Visit us online at cashandlivecoffee.com or check us out in the Danbury Ice Arena. Cash and Live Coffee Creations, where every sip tells a story. Make your stay comfortable at La Quinta Inn and Suites by Wyndham Danbury. With spacious rooms, free breakfast, and modern amenities, we've got everything you need to relax and recharge. Conveniently located in Danbury, we're perfect for business or leisure travel. Book your stay today at wyndhamhotels.com/La Quinta. Looking for top quality meats? Omaha Beef Company is your go-to wholesale food distributor. We carry a wide selection of beef, poultry, pork, cheeses, and pantry staples. Visit omahabeefcompany.com to learn more. Omaha Beef Company, serving Connecticut with quality you can count on. Is joint pain slowing you down? At Ortho Connecticut, our team of expert orthopedic surgeons and specialists get you back to doing what you love pain-free. From sports injuries to joint replacement, we offer advanced care close to home. Visit myorthoct.com to schedule your appointment today. Looking for a brighter smile? Stony Hill Dental Care offers comprehensive dental services, including sedation, cosmetic, and preventive care. Schedule your appointment today at stonyhilldental.com. Stony Hill Dental Care, where your smile comes first. Get your tickets fast and easy at Tixer.com, the official ticketing partner of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. We make it simple to buy, sell, and manage tickets. Get your tickets today at Tixer.com and cheer on your Danbury Hat-Tricks. Fire up your appetite with Twins Barbecue Company. Smoked meats, bold flavors, and barbecue that brings people together. Stop by for ribs, brisket, wings, and more in Brookfield. Visit twinsbbqco.com to view our menu, order online, or find our next food truck stop. Twins Barbecue. There's nothing better than smoking hot twins. Looking to make your brand stand out? Vision Designs in Brookfield has you covered. From custom screen printing and embroidery to eye-catching signs, banners, and promotional products, they bring your ideas to life with unmatched quality and service. Visit visiondesignsct.com. Vision Designs, where your vision becomes reality. Looking to elevate your night out? At Illicit Brewing Company, we feature a beer hall, cocktail bar, arcade, lounge, and private event space. Enjoy a diverse menu, live music, trivia nights, and more. Visit illicitbrewing.com/Danbury for more information. Start your morning off right at Grounds Donut House. Enjoy our oversized artisanal donuts paired with premium coffee. For a unique treat, don't miss our ice cream-filled donuts. If you're looking for a sweet way to kick off your day, visit us in Danbury or check us out online at groundsdonuthouse.com/Danbury. Looking for great craft beer and live music? Visit Housatonic River Brewing in New Milford. Enjoy handcrafted ales in our rustic tap room or outdoor beer garden along the scenic Housatonic River. We're open Wednesday through Sunday with live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Check out our full schedule and offerings at HousatonicRiverBrewing.com. Looking for reliable waste management? Choose Interstate Waste Services, your local family-owned provider since 1998. We provide comprehensive waste and recycling solutions for homes and businesses with a commitment to sustainability and community. For more information, visit interstatewaste.com. Raise a glass to locally crafted spirits at Litchfield Distillery. Enjoy free tours and tastings of our award-winning spirits, including bourbon, rye, gin, and ready-to-drink cocktails. Open daily with tours on the hour. Book your spot at litchfielddistillery.com. Litchfield Distillery, batch by batch. Craving a craft beer escape? Come to Reverie Brewing Company in Newtown, where every pint is brewed with passion and flavor. Catch a rotating tap list, enjoy food trucks almost every day, and join us for live events and good times. Visit reveriebrewing.com for our menu, hours, and upcoming events. Reverie Brewing. Don't quit your daydream. In the mood for a sweet treat? Visit Twister's Ice Cream Cafe in New Fairfield. Enjoy 32 delicious homemade ice cream and Italian ice flavors, including rotating specials. Plus, catch Twisters at all Danbury Hat-Tricks home games this season. For more information, check them out on Facebook. Dealing with property damage? Let Atlas Adjustments handle your insurance claim. Located in White Plains, we specialize in maximizing settlements for fire, water, and storm damage. With a no fee unless you win policy, we work on your behalf. For more information, visit atlasadjustments.com. Upgrade.
Remember when a night out didn't break the bank? When fun was simple, social, and full of laughter? Bowling is still that place. Affordable, timeless, and made for everyone. Get more laughs per dollar bowling at Spins Bowl.
We welcome you back inside the Danbury Ice Arena. A couple minutes away from the start of the third period between the Danbury Hat-Tricks And the Port Huron Prowlers in the season opener. Hat-tricks have the most recent goal. It was Josh LaBelle on the power play. About midway through that second period, answering the Alex Johnson tally, which occurred about 6 minutes in to period number 2. Take a trip around the FPHL, look at some of the scores that are going on across the league. Some teams are in action here tonight. The Topeka Scarecrows and the Indiana Sentinels, new versus new. And the Scarecrows get the better of the Indiana Sentinels, or getting the better of them here in the third period. It's 5-1 Topeka on their way to their first win. Down in South Carolina, another new squad, the PD Ice Cats, are in a tie game with the Columbus River Dragons, 2-2 the score. In PD's first game. And I believe they are entering overtime in Florence, South Carolina. So a game to keep an eye on. While you're also, of course, keeping tabs on the hat-tricks here. And then in Binghamton, the banner raising. The Black Bears win in overtime against the Watertown Wolves. Last year, it was the Wolves that handed Binghamton one of their very few losses at home ice during that banner raising. And the final goal in overtime, it was a shootout win. Mac Jensen, the only goal in the 3-round shootout. Well, what a night it's been so far here in Danbury. Fireworks right off the jump. Jesse Swanson going toe-to-toe with AJ Schlepp. Schlepp acquired in a trade just for tonight to go up against Jesse Swanson. Prowlers were trying to brace for impact following the Ben Brockway flag plant, which practically ended the hat-trick season after the Prowlers eliminated the hat-tricks in Game 3 Empire Division semifinals, the opening round last year. So Swanson answered the bell, and he got Brockway one-on-one a little bit later in that period. There's been a couple of big hits along the boards. One goal on each side. Hat-tricks from left to right in the third period. The fans get back to their seats. Players on both sides raising up, banging their sticks along the boards, and here we go. Third period action. Who will take home win number 1 in the new year? Prowlers start the period on the power play. Josh Newberg is in the box for the next 140 after he connected with Boussel's leg. It was tripping, the call at 19:57. McClendon makes an easy stop right into his midsection. Hat-tricks wearing a slightly alterated hat-tricks jersey tonight. Had the orange shoulder pads. They're available through an auction. Expires tomorrow night, 8:30. Hat-tricks will wear these jerseys this weekend and go back to their original black in the coming weeks. Johnny Ruiz, shorthanded, wrists one. Just past Cooper, who is sliding around in the net. 1:15 on the power play. Reggie Millette dancing through center. Sachets down the left wall. Gets closed off by Delory. Hat-tricks have a 2-on-1 if they hurry. It's Frondudo, shorthanded, right wing, pass across, as Harwell shoots, and a save by Cooper. Troy Harwell, fresh off the bench, joined the play. He was all alone near the left circle, looking for his first goal of the season, and his first professional goal. Only played a handful of games last year and was mostly a defenseman, but back to his original position up front, trying to fill the hole that a bunch of hat-tricks that are no longer with the team have left, including his older brother Chase. Still 45 ticks on this Prowlers power play. About a minute 15 in to the third period, 1-1 the score. Slip pass, a shot off the side of the net. Never had a chance of going in, off the stick of Brett Lockhart, and the Hat-Tricks wheel it down the ice. Well out of the net is Reed Cooper. He'll drop it off Nick Favaro out of Curry College, number 2 in white. Right through center ice, Lockhart. Leaving it, touched along. A shot fanned on by Beisel. Right point, Bussell bursts down the wall. Up top, Favaro. Looks, shoots, tip, never got through. Christou shoves Heikala into the boards. It's Bussell for the Prowlers at the circle. Flicks one wide left. Christou pounces on it for the Hat-Tricks. They battle to his side in the far corner. Squirts out for Josh Tomasi. Gave it away. Here's Graham, right circle. He shoots! Blocker saved by McClendon. Pops up in the air. It's free. Settled down by Bazal. Hard pass, too hot to handle for Graham. Loose puck, Newberg goes down and whacks it into the Prowler zone. 2.5 minutes a race, third period. We're locked up at 1, both goals coming in the second period. Outlet pass, ramps off his stick. Matt Graham chops it along for the Prowlers behind the Hat-Tricks net. Trey Delory rims it near side, gets it back behind the goal line. Craig angles it for Austin Belfay. The righty on the left wing flicks it. Hits off a stanchion, back in front, turnover, Lakov safe, rebound. There's Belfay, couldn't tee it up. Lakov for Belfay, low left, centers, Zajac shoots. Had a save made by Cooper. Delory whacks it into the Prowlers' end. Hat-Tricks, a dangerous opportunity in the slot. Almost capitalized on a Prowlers turnover. DeCumbis crashes with Zajac in the far side corner. Belfay bats the puck for LaBelle. Closed off by Millette. Far side blue line near the Hat-Trick zone. Zajac for Christou. Outlet. Out of the reach of Belfay. No, they say you got a piece. No icing called. Hat-Tricks complete a line change. Prowlers start the rush right to left. Shot in, far corner, Marty, pressured by LaBelle. Lost the handle, gets it back, backhand, floats one wide left. To it first is Zach Pamelaine for the Hat-Tricks. Christou helps him, Newberg flicks it along, Esposito trying to get around Favaro, and he might have drawn a penalty. Interference is the call, and they are gonna get Nick Favaro. Ethan Esposito was trying to work around Favaro. And like a traffic cone, Favaro was just in the way, and it turns into interference and a Hat-Tricks power play. Left point, Josh LaBelle. Hat-Trick's only goal has been on the power play. It was LaBelle at 12:45 of the second. Pass down low, tipped into the netting. LaBelle scored 3 power play goals last year. Orchestrates things up top for Danbury. Ruiz for the face-off. Won it cleanly through both Tomasi and LaBelle and back out to center. The two of them are joined by Zajac, Pamelayan, and Ruiz. Zajac tapped along by Pamelayan, far side blue line. Parsons attempts to clear up the near wall. He's successful. Graham skates into it. Left wing Ozone, poked away by Josh LaBelle, and then nearly lost it. Regathers, flicks it off the far wall, and the Prowlers pound it back into the Hat-Trick's end. 1:15 remaining on the power play. About 5 minutes into the third period in a 1-1 hockey game. Frandudo, pressured by Federley, locates LaBelle near wall. And into the O-zone, it's Tomasi. Right side, filters for Pamelayan, closed off in the corner. Attempts a low to high across. Tomasi blasts one. Stopped by Cooper, off the back glass. Prowlers clear. McClendon quick up. Kicked by Belfay to Connor Craig. Gets the red. tosses it near wall. Belfay out of his reach. Johnson can't clear. Kept in by the Hat-Tricks. The seam pass blocked down. Legkov hammers it below the goal line. First there is Johnson for the Prowlers. And he'll sail it out to center ice. And a penalty. Hat-Trick's power play appears to be over. It's Gennaro Fronduto who goes to the penalty box. It is now 4-on-4 when we come back on the Hat-Tricks Digital Network. Well, you can't ask for much more for a season opener. 1-1 game, third period. We've played 5 minutes and 39 seconds. Both goals coming in the second. It'll be 4-on-4 hockey for 22 seconds. Then Favaro is released for the Prowlers and Port Huron to the man up. Fronduto sits. He gets called for slashing, which has evened things up. Face off to the left of Frankie McClendon, who has stopped 22 of 23. Reed Cooper in the other goal, 34 for 35. 4-on-4 LaBelle. Maneuvers through center, flips it in right corner. Legkov muscled off the puck. Zajac supports. It's free below the goal line. And taken in by Brett Lockhart. Speeds down the left wall into the Hat-Trick zone. LaBelle comes over. Craig taps it up the near side. Tomasi forces it back out to neutral ice. Power play for the Prowlers. 1:30 with the man up. They have yet to score on the power play. Johnson keeps it far point. They tiptoe the line near side. Millette handles up top Federley. Slap shot blocked by Tomasi. One knee got his stick in the lane and tipped it out of play. Of course, have to watch this experienced and skilled power play unit. Graham, Johnson, Lockney, Millette, and Federley. Hat-Trick's counter with Ruiz, Tomasi, Christou, and Movalli. Prowlers win the draw. Federley straight away. Wrist shot saved by McClendon, and he cleans up the crumbs right in front of him. .13:25 the reading on the clock here in the third period. Hat-Tricks trying to keep this 1-1. Still have a minute left to kill on the Fronduto slash. Lockney to the back. Federley has Millette. Winding, shoots, save, traffic, they score! The initial shot stopped by McClendon, and the rebound poked home through his 5-hole. Matt Graham has given the Prowlers a 2-1 lead. Power play goal for Port Huron with about 13 minutes left in regulation. So the two goal scorers, Alex Johnson and Matt Graham. Johnson, assistant coach, assistant GM. Matt Graham, head coach and general manager. Both finding the score sheet. Prowlers with their second lead of the game. Hat-Tricks have yet to lead. Oh, the play is under review. So hold your horses, folks. Now, it did seem like McClendon might have had that puck underneath him. And it could have been poked through him. Maybe there was interference beforehand. but they won't allow us to show any replays on the big board, which definitely hurts us on our side, because you can't have the video up on that big board during a review where the refs are over near the iPads. So the question is, was there interference in front? Did he jab at the pad of McClendon and push the puck in? It doesn't seem like there is much. I'm getting a look off screen. As I mentioned live, there was plenty of traffic out in front. It looked like the puck was just tapped through the 5-hole of McClendon. And it will stand. It's a good goal. So 2-1 Prowlers. Power play goal for each side. And the penalty from Gennaro Fronduto turns into a Prowlers power play goal. Still plenty of time for the Hat-Tricks to answer. And again, faced with some early season adversity, looking for the equalizer yet again. Puck behind the Hat-Tricks net. Spits free for Josh LaBelle, who shovels it on the backhand off the far wall. Brett Lockhart attempts to settle a rolling puck. He'll swat it up the far boards. Instead, it's Josh LaBelle for their Hat-Tricks at the right red line. Delfay in the mix, Zajac as well. Here's Legkob, bursting middle. Pass across the green. It's Craig with a slapper, chested down, rebound free. And Cooper goes sprawling to hop on top. Hat-Tricks will change some things up. Newberg, Pamaleon, and Harwell are the three up front, with Delory and Christou on the back end. Reed Cooper has been the difference. He's made 35 saves on 36 shots. Showing up as he did in the playoffs last year when these two teams met up. Lucas Lockney flying down the left wing. He shoots! Airmailed it up into the netting. He had some room, short side over the right shoulder of McClendon. Was either deflected or he was just off the mark. So the faceoff sets up at the near circle. Hat-Tricks end. Newberg, Graham, two respected veterans in the FPHL. 2-1 hockey game. Prowlers have just taken the lead on Graham's go-ahead goal. His first of the season. Troy Harwell zigzags through center, touches it in deep, takes a piece out of Johnson below the goal line, but the Prowlers move out of the zone. Far side pass, Graham settles, finds Millett. His shot never got there as he was rubbed out by Craig. McClendon went tumbling down, gets back to his skates. Meanwhile, Pamaleon finds the red line, slings it into the right of the goal. Giveaway at center ice, Lockney. All the way across for Favara, the defenseman. Right wing fakes the shot, then lets it go, and it's tipped out of play. Mill Valley got stick on puck and pops it into the netting. So McClendon will stare down the faceoff. It's to his left in the hat-trick zone. Hat-Tricks win the draw. Tomasi. Rainbow it into the far corner Prowler zone. Lockhart runs into Fronduto. They battle again for it, Lockhart and Fronduto. And the Prowlers take possession. Bussell, left wing, filters it inside, gets it back at the circle, whacked around, and LaBelle, with his long reach, pokes it up the near half wall. Kept alive by Bussell. Softly across, Lockhart winds, fires wide of the target and out of the zone. Lockhart grabbing towards his face. He dropped his stick. Was engaged with Fronduto. We play on. Federally, right side of the blue line. Sends it Down low. And going down was Brian Parsons. Wasn't even touched. Just hit a run in the ice. Zajac for Leitkov. Zipping. Left wing pass in front. Zajac. He was checked from behind. Delayed call. Hat-Trick still have it. Leitkov. Across for Christou. Through Leitkov. Off a skate. And out to center ice. A stick went flying out of play behind Reed Cooper. And Zajac has received his twig back from a fan, nicely enough, who's standing along the glass. So there was one initial penalty already after the Hat-Tricks had a abbreviated 2-on-1. Zajac could not get his stick free. That was penalty number one. And then Zajac stick was sent into orbit up and out of the rink. It was a great move by Zajac, who just danced around a Prowler at the blue line and darted through the slot, got a return pass, and then was impeded. So the Hat-Tricks would at least have a 5-on-4 power play, and it could be more. Right now, the Prowlers only have 3 skaters on. Yes, they committed 2 penalties during that sequence. And the Hat-Tricks trailing by 1 with 10:28 on the clock, third period. Can knot this game up. Left circle face-off in the Prowlers' end. Hat-Tricks again with their top 5. Pamelayan, Zajac, Tomasi, Ruiz, and LaBelle. LaBelle has the Hat-Tricks goal. It came on the power play in the second. LaBelle for Ruiz, left circle. Low left Tomasi, back for Ruiz, across LaBelle, slap shot, well wide, rims around and hops the stick of Ruiz, who was near the left point. Prowlers make some changes. LaBelle leading the way on the power play, stops right at the center of the blue line, slips it for Zajac, who drifts down into the right corner. Back up top, LaBelle, across Ruiz, one-timer, wide of the cage and all the way out. Ruiz in his office. The forehand circle. And just a bit off the mark. Once again, LaBelle gains the zone, fanned out a pass. Worked out for him. He has it back up top. Far boards, Ruiz, low left. Tomasi, back for Ruiz. Walks in, he shoots! He went off the back of the boards and up and out of play. Hat-Tricks with some glorious opportunities. Just slightly off in game one. Prowlers with a 2-1 lead in the third period. Hat-Tricks still on a 5-on-3 power play for 1:02 as we have leaked under 10 minutes remaining in regulation. If you're just joining us, scoring recap. Prowlers got the scoring started. It was Alex Johnson at 6:21, even strength wrist shot from up top. Lucas Lockney and Jamie Bussell, the helpers. Hat-Tricks answering about 6 minutes later with a power play goal. Josh LaBelle, very similar spot to Johnson, maybe a little bit farther out, but really center cut up above that high slot near the blue line. Beat Cooper over the glove. Only shot that's beaten Cooper here tonight. Connor Craig and Trey Delory with the assists. All 3 defensemen getting points on that goal. And right now the go-ahead goal, the power play strike from Matt Graham. He just poked it through the pad of McClendon here in the third period at 6:50. Reggie Millette with the assist. Now 1 minute of power play time for the Hat-Tricks, and they'll keep that top unit out there. No reason not to after that 90-second break. Drop the puck, Pamelayan wands it back for LaBelle. He'll walk the blue line across Ruiz. One-timer blocked. Right back to Ruiz. Give and go Tomasi. Up top, LaBelle. Slapper save by Cooper. Right into the catching mitt. Prowlers have been changing their penalty killers. Looks like Newberg is going to replace Pamelayan on this unit. 50 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Hat-Tricks trail by 1. Another face-off win. Left point Ruiz. Low left Tomasi. Fumbled, got it back. Return Ruiz far board. Back to Tomasi. Left circle. Up top Ruiz. Back Tomasi. Shoots! Fanned on it. Zajac scoops it up right corner. He'll flip it around the kick plate far side. Tomasi to the back. Ruiz walks. Shoots! Save Cooper. Puck is free. Backhander off the chest of Cooper. Clear attempt kept in. Far side corner Tomasi. Touches it left point LaBelle. Still 20 on the power play. Ruiz's stick broken. One-timer off the side of the net. Tomasi below the left circle. Ruiz had to go back to the bench to get a new twig. Final 10 seconds of the power play. Still 5-on-3. Tomasi slips it. Right corner, Zajac. Back for Tomasi. Slapper wide of the net, right out of the box. Here come the Prowlers. It's Alec Johnson one-on-one against LaBelle. Johnson in the slot. He shoots and scores! Second goal of the night for Alex Johnson. Top right corner on McClendon. And Port Huron with its largest lead of the game on a wrist shot. That must have surprised McClendon. It was perfectly placed over his lefty catching mitt. But the Prowlers facing the conditions that are the Danbury Ice Arena, and the crowd here, of course, following that narrative all summer long that sparked at the end of the Hat-Tricks playoff journey. They have responded with 3 goals, 2 from Johnson, 1 from Graham, their 2 leaders. The head coach, GM, assistant coach, and assistant general manager, both all over the score sheet. And a 3-1 Prowlers lead. Hat-Tricks have put 41 shots on Reed Cooper and have just the 1 goal after they failed on that 5-on-3. The net came off behind McClendon, forced a stoppage and a face-off at the far circle. Still plenty of time for the Hat-Tricks to find their offensive groove. Mentioned Danbury missing a slew of talent from last year. The whole Russian line no longer here with top offensive producing line for the Hat-Tricks last year. Of course, no Chase Harwell. Connor Woolley missing a couple of veterans on the back end. Kyle Gonzalez. Just a few of the names that are missing for this Danbury squad. And oh yeah, let's not forget their co-MVP last year, Connor McCullum, who was their starter for the last 2 seasons. Of course, early on in the season, still questions to be answered and things to work themselves out. Hat-Tricks, look at this, just need 1 goal to get back in it. Only a 2-goal game, 3-1 Prowlers, 7.5 remaining in the 3rd period. Hat-Tricks in their own zone, outlet for Troy Harwell. He'll flip it ahead, out of the reach of Ethan Esposito. Headman for Federley at neutral ice. In stride galloping is Brett Morich. Taking it wide, Zajac closes him off behind the net. Puck scooped up by Morich again, near half wall. Left point, a wrist shot, save, rebound, poked wide. Belfay reverses for Delory. And Christou leaves it for Troy Harwell in his own zone as we've dripped under 7 minutes to go in regulation. 3-1 Prowlers. Harwell fires it in, ran into an awkward part of the boards again. Ruiz steals the puck, tried to backhand it on, and it never got through. Puck is lofted out to center, glove down by LaBelle. Pestered, and Lockney tips the puck out of play. 6.5. The reading on the clock in regulation. Hat-Tricks with just 1 goal in this game. It was Josh LaBelle in the 2nd period. Danbury has had plenty of opportunities, just had a 5-on-3 before Alex Johnson made it a 2-goal game with his second goal of the contest. Hat-trick's looking for some life. Franduto, Tomasi, and Ruiz out there. Craig leads Ruiz into the zone. Franduto, left wing, fans looking for the puck, and a delayed penalty. It's touched up in the corner as Ruiz was slashed. So right when things look bleak for the Hat-tricks, they allow their second consecutive goal. Now they will go to the power play most likely. You have Reggie Millette and Gennaro Franduto shoving each other. Got a headlock between a couple other players. Hat-tricks just trying not to take a penalty. They would love to stay up a man. So Parsons is in the box for Port Huron. Danbury's Franduto is in there as well. Just awaiting the penalties. Now there was an initial slash on the Prowlers. It would have set the Hat-tricks up on a 5-on-4. Would have been perfect for Danbury to try and crawl back within one. Now Millette is going to the box, so we've got 2 for the Prowlers, 1 for the Hat-tricks, and yes, 2 minutes on the board against Port Huron, who is really giving the Hat-tricks a lifeline here and a power play opportunity. Hat-tricks have had a bunch of opportunities on the man advantage. They do have the 1 goal. He has the Hat-tricks at 1 for 10 on the power play. There have been a lot of fights, a lot of crazy stuff here tonight. They can make it a 1-goal game on a 5-on-4. Tomasi in the far corner, pitchforks it down low for Pamelayan, who swerves out of trouble, angles it off the near boards, kept in by LaBelle. Zajac popped off the puck, and LaBelle will set some things up. His outlet pass too far for Zajac, and an icing on the Hat-tricks. Hat-tricks have definitely not played a bad game whatsoever. They have 41 shots. Reed Cooper, a difference maker. Sometimes you can blame a bad effort or lack of chemistry. Sure, the Hat-tricks have been slightly off, but they've had plenty of opportunities to score some goals. One shot can certainly bring them right back in it. But first, a defensive zone face-off. Zajac wins it clean for LaBelle, and up ahead for Ruiz. He'll charge through center ice. Over the logo, finds Tomasi right side blue line. He was rejected on the entry. Hat-tricks will try again. And once again, the Prowlers detect it and flick it down. 5.5 minutes to go. Third period. Hat-tricks down 2. Fans trying to will this Danbury squad back in it. Legkov in his Hat-tricks debut, rubbed out of the play by Favaro, and the puck once again spits out to center. Craig, quick up. Hat-tricks onside. Newberg to Belfay, and another pocket pick. And Port Huron sails it down the ice once more. Craig in the final 35 of the power play. He'll leave it for Legkov, who also left the puck right at center. Prowlers wanted a penalty as Legkov two-hand chopped, but none called. and Delory. Craig on the far wall, spins off a check, gets back to his skates. Gave it away. Here's Craig, high slot, he shoots! Glove saved by Cooper. Almost a mistake from Port Huron, but Cooper there to bail out his team. Hat-trick still with 2 seconds left on this power play in the final 5 minutes of regulation. We'll step out, come back. The final 5 here in Danbury. 3-1 Prowlers, 4:15 to go here in the third. Back inside the Danbury Ice Arena, Doug Latuca, happy to have you along with us. A long season up ahead. This game 1 of 56, the first of 7 versus the Port Huron Prowlers, and game 1 of 5 here in Danbury between the two teams. Things started off with Jesse Swanson and AJ Schlepp battling it out 2 seconds in. Of course, the retaliation from the Hat-tricks following the Ben Brockway flag plant at center ice. I mean, the Hat-tricks have really dominated this head-to-head series all time. Hat-tricks are 24-4 and 14-1-4 at home versus the Prowlers. Off the draw, LaBelle shoots and a save by Cooper as the power play was expiring. The Hat-tricks, of course, had their season ended here by the Prowlers. It's the only regulation loss the Hat-tricks have ever had against the Prowlers. Right now it's 3-1 Port Huron with just 4:10 left in this third period. Hat-tricks in search of some offense. Tomasi into the middle, Harwell to the right point, Christou. He shoots, tipped into the netting. And again, another whistle, which sets up an offensive zone faceoff. John Birchin trying to press the right buttons with his brand new squad. These two teams go at it again tomorrow, 7 o'clock puck drop. Tonight, healthcare worker night. And tomorrow, it'll be educators night. If you're an educator, grab your free ticket and a beverage, bring your friends and family. Should be another great night. Hat-tricks take the puck away, and looks like there's a penalty. And it is on at first it looked like Austin Belfay had his head down. It's on Reggie Millette. Again, when it seems like the Hat-tricks have no pulse, the Prowlers are just giving them opportunities to come back in this hockey game. Port Huron's upset because they thought a slash was missed a few moments ago before our last break. And then they get Millette for holding. So in a 3-1 game with Port Huron going for a knockout blow, the Hat-tricks are gifted a chance to once again make this a 1-goal game. It was 1-0 Prowlers in the second. Hat-tricks tied it. Port Huron has 2 goals here in the third to make it 3-1. Hat-tricks top 5 are on. Zajac, Tomasi, Pamaleon, Ruiz, and LaBelle. 43 shots on goal, just 1 is beaten Reed Cooper. Ruiz wins the draw. Right point, LaBelle, fan of the pass, and it leaks out of the zone. Tomasi dancing at center ice. He'll play back for LaBelle. The Hat-tricks goal scorer for a streaking Ruiz. Right wing, he shoots into the chest of Cooper and a cover. Hat-tricks had a 5-on-3 earlier in this period. They had a 5-minute power play. Scored once on that one. But they've left some crumbs on the plate, that's for sure. Now we've got some barking. Ruiz and Federle going after each other. Federle to the bench. Zajac replaces Ruiz on the faceoff. Puck is dropped. Back for LaBelle. One-handed to Tomasi out of his reach. And a diving effort from Lockhart. Sweeps it out to center. Kept moving. Vincent DeCumbis, right wing, dips the shoulder, shoots, save. Ramped into the glove of McClendon, and he covers, and then leaves it for LaBelle. Drop for Pamelayan. Through Ruiz. Tomasi keeps it moving, and the Prowlers send it right back out to neutral ice. LaBelle waiting for Pamelayan to touch up. Hat-tricks due. Tomasi, right circle, is shot blocked by Favaro. Clear attempt fanned on. Favaro sprinting after it around Zajac. DeCumbis claps it off the far plexiglass and all the way down. 55 seconds on the Hat-tricks power play. A giveaway. Federle centers. Back for Federle near the blue line. Near side Johnson looking for a hat-trick. Back to Federle. He shoots. Blocker saved by McClendon. Here's Fronduto. Leaving for Craig. 35 seconds of the power play, which is really favored Port Huron here. They've had the best chances. Chip in charge from Craig, right corner. A lumberjacket to the far side, Fronduto. Braces from a hit from Federle. Left point, Belfay. Feathers it down low, return, Belfay. Blue line, looking for a lane, doesn't find one. He'll rim it around the kick plate near the far side. Johnson and Legkov collide. Legkov wins the puck, he centers, ricochets off a leg in front, and Cooper covers. Under 2 minutes left in the third period. Hat-tricks have had little to no success here on the power play. It was a perfectly placed shot from LaBelle up and over Cooper, which brought the score even at 1 in the second. A 2-goal night for Alex Johnson. Frankie McClendon is on the bench. Hat-tricks have 5 skaters on, and now a timeout from Danbury.
Timeout, Danbury.
So it'll be an offensive zone face-off for the Hat-tricks. Net empty. 7 seconds left on a power play. So a 6-on-4. And the hope and the game plan for the Hat-tricks is score a quick goal here and then take your chances with about 1:30 with an extra skater on. As we mentioned, a lot undecided once Ben Brockway planted that flag at center ice at the end of the playoffs last year. It was decided early on, really here in the first period. Swanson took it into his own hands, did not cost the team much in terms of manpower. It was 0-0 after 1. Hat-tricks probably felt pretty good about their game. And in the second period, they fell behind 1-0, tied it back up. Third period here, the Prowlers have 2 goals. Graham and Johnson is second. And a 3-1 Prowlers lead. 1:56 left in regulation. Final 5 seconds of the power play. Net is empty all the way down the ice, just wide right. No icing because the Prowlers were shorthanded. It'll now be 6-on-5 for the Hat-tricks. Legkov back behind the net. To the near side, Craig lost it. Empty net try, Federle pushes it wide right. Millette races to it, he wins the battle, he shoots off the side of the net. LaBelle was calling for icing, did not see Millette. Luckily does not cost him. Hat-trick still alive, 1:20 on the clock. Third period down 2. Legkov will chip in charge. Right corner Ozone. Angles it to the back, LaBelle gathers, right point, space opens, he shoots, saved by Cooper. Again, no traffic in front of the eyesight of Cooper, and he saw it all the way and holds it. Right circle face-off. 1 minute remaining in the third period. Legkov muscled off the puck. It's Lockney, pestered by Legkov, who pushes it back into the Prowler zone. Squirts out to center. Near side, LaBelle gets the red. Fires it in. Legkov taps it in the far corner. Craig, almost at his pocket pick, takes the tumble. Finds a man down low, a shot, save, it's Ruiz, and another stop by Cooper, he covered. Ruiz all alone on the left doorstep, had 2 good looks, and Cooper chesting him down. Face off at that left circle. Prowler zone, 40 seconds to go. LaBelle snapper block. Tomasi far half wall. Will rim it around. Ruiz all the way to Legkov, right point. Return Ruiz. He shoots. Hit his own man. Whistle blows. Cooper went down. And they're going to push the face-off outside the zone. Far dot, just outside the Port Huron zone. And it appears time will run out on the Danbury hat-tricks. An empty net try, glove down by LaBelle. Delory, right wing, he shoots, stopped by Cooper. And they call a penalty. It was a hook on the shot attempt, but appears it's too little too late for the Danbury hat-tricks on opening night of the 2025-26 season. The Port Huron Prowlers come to town. They scored 2 goals in the third period to distance themselves, and will likely scoop up 3 points and just the second ever regulation win against the hat-tricks in this head-to-head all time. LaBelle across for Tomasi, final 10. His wrist shot airmailed off the back glass. LaBelle at the point, shoots, engulfed by Cooper. And probably one more face-off, and then the final horn. A strong effort from the hat-tricks here tonight. Almost 50 shots on goal. Probably like to focus a little bit more on traffic in front of Cooper, make his life a little bit harder. That's how LaBelle scored. Cooper never saw it, beat him up high. Face off, empty net try, won't matter, and that's it. The Prowlers come into Danbury, take down the hat-tricks in game 1 of the new season. Alex Johnson, the star of the night, 2 goals, 1 in the second to start things off. And an insurance tally here in the third period. Matt Graham, the game-winning goal in the power play at 6:50 from Reggie Millette. To a 3-1 final score. Shots finish out 49 for the hat-tricks, 33 for the Prowlers. McClendon 30 for 33 between the pipes for the hat-tricks in his first start of the season. And Reed Cooper, magnificent tonight. 48 saves on 49 shots. We'll see if any of the Ben Brockway chaos carries over into tomorrow night. Seems like business was handled here tonight, but who knows? We shall see tomorrow. That's why we play the games. Hat-tricks fall to 0-1 on the early year. Prowlers 3 points tonight. And by the way, the scoreboard looks around the league. They are in first place in the Empire Division very early on, of course. But the Prowlers started to flip the switch on this all-time series, starting to rack up a couple of wins and a regulation victory for Port Huron in game 1 of the year. This time we don't have any post-game shenanigans. Both teams go to their locker room. And game 2 will be tomorrow night, 7 o'clock puck drop. If you're an educator, go on our website, danburyhattricks.com/educators. Get your free ticket, your free beverage. Come and join us. We'd love to have you. As the Hattricks try to even up their record after falling 3-1 to the Port Huron Prowlers. For everybody working hard behind the scenes, we got a couple of new staff members who did a tremendous job. Last-minute additions. They have been spectacular, spectacular. We want to thank them for everything they're doing. Of course, our media team behind the scenes. And the fans for showing out here tonight. They packed the house. Hattricks fall 3-1. We'll talk again tomorrow night. Hattricks and Prowlers, 7 o'clock. Game 2 of a long, long marathon that is just beginning here in October. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Doug Latuca saying have a great rest of your night, Hattricks fans, and we'll talk again tomorrow. Hattricks and Prowlers, 7 o'clock puck drop. Be here on the Hattricks Digital Network for part 2 of the Ben Brockway saga. Good night, everyone.